Come in, check in. Coach Gang, come check in. Come check in with your boy. We are here and we're back in business. See something here. Should be. I can clearly see that. Yeah. Notifications being sent out. Shout out to the Coach Gang. Notifications being sent out. Shout out to the Coach Gang. All right. You have to do that, man, because it's still early on in the stream. But let me check something real quick. We are here. Let me manage this stream up over here. Let me manage this stream and see what we doing over here. Oh, you know what? I can do this. Interesting. This is my first time doing all of these vertical streams. So um, the vertical streams are interesting. And we'll get in here. We'll get in here. Boss up here. You see the title of the stream, the Mamdani election in New York City, where Gen Z women wipes the floor of traditionalism. Okay. The traditionalists, the Christian conservatives, they're going to take over politics with a federal law that stops them from being independent queens. Yeah. Yeah. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. Shout out to you. We got a cigar we're going to unwrap right now. The Christian church is going to stop these feminists. Yeah. Somebody doesn't like the vertical. All right. Oh, man, it sucks. I know, man. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. With the verticals, they say you get more engagement because of it goes into the YouTube Shorts algorithm. So I'm trying to engage an audience using the verticals and then being outside, but then people can't watch it on the screen. Yeah. But here we are once again in the hour of truth, in the reality, and that's where we're going to preside in. What are we doing now? What's happening now? And what's happening now that's going to affect the future? That's what we worry about over here. We don't worry about what could be, what should be, what if, imagine. We can't do that because that's ignorance. And one thing that I've been talking about in my book, De-Evolution, is the political landscape, the fact that men do not have any lobby groups. No, the MRAs are not going to get paid. They're not going to fund the MRAs. This is all hope strategy, right? And only the non-deaf, dumb, and blind are going to be able to follow this. So the rest, you'll be able to follow this and see it, recognize it, and adjust accordingly and adapt, and you'll survive. Those who don't, and they dwell in the past, they're hoping for a better time to come. There is no better time. There is today, all right, and there is tomorrow. And there's going to be shitty times today, shitty times tomorrow. That's just the reality of life. There are going to be good times and there are going to be bad times. But what's not going to happen is the past will not be reclaimed, all right, under any circumstance. Any smart person knows that this is the truth, and the truth shall set you free. We speak the truth over here. And I want you to think about this. Think about this. For a long time, even in my book, my second book that I wrote, De-Evolution, I told you where we're going with this. Now, New York City is not the rest of America, but New York City is America. It is the number one city, the number one recognized city of America worldwide. I don't want to hear anybody coping saying it's just New York City. Relax. New York City is where everything starts. Okay, it's where everything originates, and people follow New York City. It's only going to be a matter of time, and those blue states and cities will follow in kind. It's going to follow in kind, and it's not going to be fun for you when you're using the hope strategy. Okay, whatever New York does, The rest of America typically follows. All right. And you can run from New York if you want to, and you can escape and pack yourself into as many of these red podunk cities and states that nobody wants to live in. Okay. You can cram yourself in there and take your politics down there to hope to save yourself. But nobody wants to live in Arkansas, Choklahoma. Okay. Nobody wants to live in these areas where you're running to, escaping from New York and Gotham City. Most of the time, you're just going to bring those problems down there. Okay. But for those who don't know, let me recap for you. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you, my brother London. I think it is London. I can barely see. But let me recap for you. In a much widely still discussed issue that is going around the internet and making waves, people are doing their review and commentary. And I really thank you, because for a long time I've been ignored. And you get to see what it is. The CGA, she-male hating group, is loving this moment to try to proclaim victory, but there's no victory to be rejoicing for. I can tell you that. All right, this is a minor victory by me for certain, because you're talking about me. And not only that, whatever you make up in your mind about what happened, over time, the truth will be revealed and you will look like a fool. We don't have to win the battles, we win the war over here. We don't win the battles, we win the wars. I won the battle and I'll win the war. On Monday, I specifically said the political landscape, and not only on Monday, I've been constantly harping on this, especially in my book, The Evolution. I've been constantly harping on the fact that the men do not show up politically. You're behind the eight ball. You're not volunteering at the facilities. You're not counting votes. You're not voting at the great length that these young women and women in general are voting in these elections, in the small elections for certain, and certainly in the big elections. Okay. And this is going to tip the scales. This is going to be one of the things that tips the scale that prevents traditionalism, this fantasy you live in, from presiding over you, this mythology and this fantasy time that you think is going to come back. You think for some reason masculinity and the MRAs are going to be funded to bring back traditionalism. I mean, pure fantasy. When you guys don't understand the ideals and the ideology of young Gen Z women. For me, I deal with young Gen Z women. I'm around them all the time. Not only that, I have children who are now emerging adults that are Gen Z. And I've dealt with Gen Z people for a long time. Trust me, you're not prepared for what's coming forward from that particular group. They're an interesting dynamic. In this particular election that we're talking about with the Democratic Socialists, aka the Communist mayoral candidate, his name is Zoran Mamdani. He is a Muslim. He is quite the socialist, and he is already laying the groundwork to, number one, even decriminalize sex work. Okay, this is happening, and I've been telling you that this is going to be happening. Fix His Mind LLC is here to stay. All right, protect your daughters. We're here. There's no denying it. So you better prepare for it, because you're looking for a solution. You need to prepare. Okay, you need to prepare, because you can't stop it. Most men are not going to be able to rally and unite to be able to head this off. You're not going to revoke the 19th Amendment because the women outvote you. It's not going to happen. These are all pipe dreams. Okay, these are all fantasies of loser males, the deaf, dumb, and blind males of America, who have already lost the battles and the wars, in which I tell you as a solution or a trade-off to protect yourself at this particular point. And I know you hope it would be not like that, and you can gather together in some more communist mindset manifesto. You're not gathering together at all. Okay, you're not. You're not gathering together. I can't even gather together within a group of men that were supposed to support each other, and they're stabbing me in the back. All right, they're rejoicing. All right, they're trying to tap dance on what they perceive as a grade. We can't even stick together on this. Certainly, you can't believe that we're going to stick together and band together to stop the momentum of the feminists and the traditionalism and the social, cultural Marxists. You don't think we're going to stick together for that? Oh, clearly not. All right, the she-male hater group of CGA is showing you that the villain is here to stay. And you can forget about banding together, okay? We can't even band together now, okay? You're trying to convince me to pull me to your side of fantasy where I stand on the front line as a foot soldier and get shot in the middle of my forehead, trying to attempt something that I already know is a fantasy. It's not going to happen. I'll be enjoying myself in a variety of countries, putting hands on hips of young women around the world, all right? That's where I'm going to be. I don't know where you're going to be, but that's where I'm going to be, and I'm going to love it. And watching you guys fight a battle that you can't win, bringing back traditionalism. The Christian fundamentalists are going to stop it. And I know you're going to say it's just New York. It's liberal New York, no big deal. But Gen Z women are on a rampage at this particular point. I told you, they're on a rampage. Okay? And they're going to continue. As opposed to what the Gen Z men are doing, you guys are dropping the ball. You're dropping the ball. You're not ready. All right? You think some smoking podcaster is going to help you and save you. Well, that's a noble effort, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay? And it's a terrible thing to say because I know you guys have a lot of hope and dreams, but you better protect yourself. You better flee from these poor communities and these dumb soldiers who have no solutions and they just wish for a better day. And meanwhile, they're struggling. They're struggling themselves on a daily basis, and all they have is hope. And I'm going to tell you, as a person that was formerly in that position, I never used hope to get myself out of this position. I put my nose to the ground, dug myself out of the hole that I created by myself. And thus, as a result, I became a better man. Okay? I became a better man. And only to see the amount of weak, limp-wristed men who believe that they're going to lead when they're followers. Okay? They're followers. Men are followers. They're waiting for a savior, whether it become the Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, God, a podcaster, a politician. They're waiting for a savior. He is not going to be there. Okay? It's not going to be there. And I know this because when I was down in the dumps, there was nobody saving me. There was no savior. I had to save myself. I had to look within myself and realize, well, I was causing my problems and I can fix it. But I can't fix your problems. Neither can anyone else. No one can fix your problems. You can. No one can fix your communities. You can. No one has suggestions to fix your community. You can. You can fix your circumstances. You can't control everything. You can't control everything. And this is the message that I'm constantly trying to share to men. Control what you can control. What you can't control, you have to leave it to whatever happens. All right. But of course, people like the virtue signal and be moral crusaders, and they like to feel good and think they're making an impact and all of these things. And it sounds good on paper, but in reality, in reality, not many things will be so. And it's okay. It's okay. Nova hears the coyotes outside. Nova, chill out. Nova hears the coyotes, and she's going to alert me so I can pick up whatever I have on this table. I can't show you live because, well, YouTube doesn't like what I have on this table to show you. But this is our reality. Now let's get to it since we have a full audience here. All right. I've been streaming on this channel lately. Okay. I've been streaming on this channel lately. So we're developing an audience of people who expect me to be here a couple days a week. And I'm a little bit fatigued. I hit the gym. I'm working out 5 days a week. I posted it on the Notorious channel. I'm making great strides to work on my body and my mind, keeping it fresh and sharp. Whereas some of you guys are following people who bodies are sloppy and slovenly. Their minds are lost. Okay. Their habits atrocious. Their presentation of masculinity downright dastardly. All right. Definitely in the face of battle. Who are you going to follow? He hits the gym, doesn't look like it. See, results speak for themselves. I'm going to smoke one. I'm not going to smoke a pack of cigarettes, but Results will show. All right. You can't lie about your body. You can't lie about your body. Your body's gonna tell you the truth. Some of us have bad genetics. Some of us are just in bad shape. All right. And I like somebody just commented this, and this is true. Mamdani doesn't happen without a Trojan horse. Once again, this is what then, and it's a good statement. This is no criticism. The statement is that there was an outside effort to get Mamdani in, which is true. All right. George Goros and the Goros family, you know who I'm talking about. They're funding this. They're moving people around like chess pieces. They get a New Jersey governor who to win, and she's not from New Jersey. This is quite obvious. But what I'm gonna tell you is, you can't stop it. You cannot stop it. They have billions and billions of dollars that they're hell bent on destroying the very fabric of what you think is traditionalism. They want nothing to do with it. And they're moving these politicians around like chess pieces strategically to win certain races. And you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Okay? So with that being said, all they have to do is pander to the right people and they'll do their bidding, because most people are deaf, dumb, and blind. But one thing's for sure, you ain't got enough money or funding to stop it, nor do you have the time to be able to do it. This is why I preach the free agent lifestyle. That's why I teach the free agent lifestyle. So yes, there's a Trojan horse. There's outside interference. There's people positioning people. And there's people spending billions. By the way, this is the most expensive New York mayoral candidate election ever. This is the most expensive. And we're talking about lack of money and funding and Section 8 and the EBT. This is the most expensive, and I'll look it up. New York mayoral candidate election ever. And the other candidates are atrocious. All right. The other candidates had no chance. So most of the funding spending probably was on the Mamdani side. Okay. Let me type this in. Okay. Most expensive mayoral election ever. NYC. We're asking ChatGPT, since I see that's how people like to find their data and information. Who's the biggest campaign spender ever? This is old news here. The billionaire who failed to stop Mamdani. There's a billionaire here, self-described here. Okay, there was billions to stop Mamdani's election. Well, you can't stop Gen Z women. And he won decisively. It wasn't even close. Okay, so it's the most expensive race. He's the first historical Muslim and South Asian person to hold that position. Shout out to them. Mayor Bloomberg spent more of his own money in pursuit of the public office. That's 2009. All right. Looking at that. Looking at Time magazine. Looking at Time magazine here. Bear with me. All right. They said Michael Bloomberg spent $13.3 million. The Louder family spent $2.6 million. Joe Gebbia spent $2 million. Bill Ackman spent $1.7 million. Bill Ackman, if I'm not mistaken, he used to be of the group in Newport Beach. Begins with a P. I can't remember where he is, but that's Bill Ackman. All right. We have other people, $500,000 of people who have lost their money. Steve Wynn, $500,000. Alice Walton seems like that's the Walmart. These people were putting money to stop him from being elected. Somebody said he underestimated you. Yeah, he did. All right. He thought he was going to walk away with a easy dub. And so now he's got to call in the troops and try to get more people to stop me. And it seems like an organized campaign to stop CGA as well. So they're going to have more and more. They're going to pull more and more men in to come out and rail against CGA because he didn't get a decisive victory. It wasn't clear. His fans think it was clear, but certainly it wasn't. All right. And it's debatable. You can even say it was right down the middle, split decision. But either way, he doesn't have his live stream posted on his channel because it doesn't look good on him. He wanted to walk away with a walk off, and he didn't get it. So he didn't get the victory. If he did get the victory, he didn't get the victory he wanted. That's for sure. Come here, Nova. Good girl. So with that being said here, we're going to look at these numbers. And it doesn't look good for the males here that are going to be in New York City, now next California. All right, California's next. That's going to be the next place that you're going to see something like this happen. And give it time. It's going to be about 2 or 3 years because they're already running a mayor candidate here. It's going to be either Los Angeles or San Francisco, one of these strongholds. You have the governor's race, if I'm not mistaken, coming up. Okay, then it's going to be Illinois, which Illinois already has a socialist mayor in Chicago. They already got one. All right, all they need is the governor. That's all they need is the governor at this particular point. But they already have one, and that's Mr. Johnson is his name. Pause. Mayor Johnson. They already got one. They got a far, far, far left individual who's already there funded to do. I don't know what he does. Yep, California already got Prop 50 passed, so Governor Gavin Newsom will be able to gerrymander and redistrict everything to get more representatives in to make sure those red representatives that represent in California in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, they don't win the next time. Okay, they ain't winning the next election, all right, because they're gonna draw that map right and good. So they already got that. The dominoes are falling. Somebody said, what are they going to do when we start fighting back? Like how? Who is we? 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 Who's we? I'm asking you. We? What are they going to do when we start fighting back? Who? Because you tell me when you start busting grapes. Tell me when you start busting heads. We? Because what I'm going to see is a whole bunch of talk and no action. And then you're going to have me and the other everybody else looking goofy while you sitting at home clutching your purse. All right. Hold on for a second. I dropped my label, and that's going to be important because I can't even remember. Okay, I got it right here. All right. You, not me. Get your ass out there and start busting heads. Until then, I'm going to sit back. And I'm gonna do the after halftime show. I'm gonna just do the halftime show and see how many of y'all heads get busted. All right, absolutely crazy. All right, because I ain't about to run out here for you. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? But for those that don't know and missed this, I did this on the stream this morning, and I showed you this. Let's go ahead and show you this. Okay. This is going to be the age by gender exit poll of the performance in the voting for the Mamdani election. All right. I know you can see that there, and I posted it in my community tab on YouTube. And although people were still talking about what I was doing on Monday, for some reason, when I talk about it and show and prove, people have a problem with it. You still talking about it? Everybody's still talking about it. All right. I'm having multiple podcasts reach out to me to appear on their programming. All right. People are still talking about it. I've had at least 5 podcasts in the last 2 days, large podcasts. All right. Reach out to me, small podcasts. Reach out to me and say, we want you on the show. We want to hear your perspective. Okay. I don't hear nothing but faceless accounts talking shit about me. All right. And for some reason, black men right here, the black men have, they're having a party because I never was a supporter of their efforts. So a lot of black limp-wristed weak men are looking for an opportunity to figure out how they can dismantle CGA. But the Coach Gang and the Shield are too strong. All right, it's too strong. As I told someone, it's too late. It's too late. People have wished, you're gonna go broke. It's too late. I mean, I'm not a big spender. I have a lot of toys, but a lot of my stuff has been socked away and invested, land, real estate. Yeah, I mean, listen, it could get bad very quickly if there's zero income, but it's too late. All they'll do is get their moment of glory, and we'll all return back to normal. As a matter of fact, there was about 1,000 people in this live stream, and that's probably going to be more than anybody's going to get on any day of the week if they fired up a live stream. Okay. So let's look at this gender breakdown. And this is critical of the performance of men versus women in this election. In every single age category, women outvoted men. In every single, this is something that I kept saying, it's 60-40. You can guarantee it's going to be about 60-40 in any election. Some areas it's going to be 70-30. Same thing with college and all of these other metrics that they continue to say women are outperforming men. And it's true. There's no denying it. Now, the dirty, dangerous jobs like working on a ship and the fire department and all of these things are going to still be done by men, but they're not going to be men that are going to be trying to bring down traditionalism. These are men that are going to be waiting for their wife to be told when to have sex with them. Okay? These aren't going to be men that are on your side of the fight to stop traditionalism. When they work on the ship, when they go out there to Midland, Texas, and they work on the oil rig, when they go out there to do the dirty, dangerous jobs, when they go to the police station, when they do, these men are going to wait for their wives to be told and forced, and we're enforced to have sex with their husbands. All right? These men aren't going to be on your side. Trust me. They're going to go out here and wait for their wife to give them a little bit of punani. All right? Rub their leg. Please. Give me a sec. Let me get the Nova out of here. So take that to the bank. Take that to the bank. Then the Gen Z men, you can forget it. All right. Most Gen Z men ain't in this fight. All right. You can trust and believe that. Believe that. Now, certainly not the men in New York, but let me continue. In every single age category, women 18 to 29 outvoted the men slightly. In age group 30 to 44, women clearly outvoted the men 14% to 11%. In the age group of the Gen Z, and these are all broke down by pretty much Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, and boomers. In the Gen X category, 45 to 64, 18% to 15%. And then the boomers, age 65 and up, 18% to 13%. And you can always say here, you can say for that group, most of these men are dead or they're checked out or they've been divorced and never recovered. So that demographic, the women are going to always outperform the boomers. The women are always going to outperform in the voting. Most boomer men are already kind of just checked out, given up. All right, yes, dear. All right, honey-do list. They ain't going to come out here and fight on your behalf, so you can forget them. All right. Shout out to y'all, man. You can forget the boomers. You can forget Gen Z. All you got is Gen X, and I'm Gen X. Trust me, I'm not fighting for you goofy ass men, all right? And I'm not fighting for these limp-wristed men who are waiting for the pastor to tell their wife to have sex with them. So you really only have the millennials. And yeah, the millennials. Now, strangely enough, I was told during a podcast appearance, which was so-called a debate, which he turned it into a debate on issues that I wasn't in, all right? That was something he wanted to discuss, all right? So it wasn't about solutions. He wanted to discuss those things. And I was like, go ahead. Well, can we stop talking about God and Sky Daddy? No? Okay, you want to still talk about God and Sky Daddy? Go ahead. But he was trying to convince me, and I wasn't going for it, that for some reason, all right, the Christian church had this on lock. The Christian church has this on lock. The Christian church is going to take care of this. They're going to stop the politics. They're going to fund the MRAs, and they're going to put a stop to the Gen Z women and women voting in the 60 to 40%. It doesn't matter. It's a federal law. See, what he does is he talks about one thing, but not all things. He wants to talk about that one thing, and so he's right. Okay, but what about the other laws? They're not federal. What about the New York City mayor race? Is that federal? The answer is no. It's not a federal law. You can't stop it. And I said, they're going to continue to vote in socialism and communism. It's apparent. And why? Because those are the people that are going to give them their funding, keep them employed, give them their EBT, also keep their right to vote, protect their rights to be able to terminate their children, protect their rights to keep them from marrying suckers like you. They're not going to vote against that. They're not going to get aboard of your little house on the prairie fantasy. They want nothing to do with it. And I said, you can't stop it. And this election proved it. It proved it. Yep, they want the ability. Dude, there's a woman already saying, let them sell vagina in New York City because he's going to decriminalize prostitution. There's already women out here making videos saying, hey, go ahead and decriminalize that prostitution so I can go in and sell that punani. Yeah, you guys are up shit's creek. You didn't know about this. See, y'all got your head in the sand. You got your head in the sand. I'm telling you where things are going because I see the trends, I know, and I'm out here in these streets. I'm in the trenches. I'm not sitting in the house smoking packs and packs of cigarettes with my head on my ass on some, cult plot where you're sitting there on a plot of land out there just by yourself in your thoughts while your wife is earning all your money. Somebody said, show me those videos. Let me see. You want to see the video of the woman saying, go ahead and let me sell that punani, Mamdani, that Mamdani punani? All right, I'll let you hear it real quick, just so you don't think I'm making it up. Just so you don't think I'm making it up. Let me see here. Okay. That Mamdani punani. Let me see here. Let me continue. Yeah, he said they sell it in the streets when it was illegal. Facts. They just don't want to go to jail. They're like, hey, all right. Now they want to sell it and not worried about it. Let me see here what we got here. Let's see here. Okay, that's not it. It's gonna take a second. I wasn't prepared. I'm gonna show it tomorrow though. So I wasn't prepared to show it today, but let me see if I can pull it up. Is this it right here? Let me see, is this it? No, that's not it. That Mamdani punani. See something? Yeah, Nova. But yeah, y'all want Sharia law. All right, we're going to get Sharia law to stop this. Yeah. No Sari Bob. No Sharia law is coming. No burqas. No, what do they call those? Hijabs. None of this is happening. None of this is happening. Okay, here we go. I found it. Let's go ahead and show you on the screen. Hit the like button on this screen. Let's listen to a woman tell you exactly what I told you so you don't think I'm lying.
Congratulations. You won as a mayor. Tonight I will be starting your services. You said you was decriminalizing prostitution and we didn't get no SNAP benefits. My benefits, my pieces ain't hit. So I'm going tonight on Cozine and I'm going to see if you stand on business. Listen, if the cops come, I better get a pass because I'm going to let them know you my mayor and you was decriminalizing prostitution. And if I go to jail, it's going to be a problem. I'm telling you. Listen, I want to see if you really like that. If them rules should have started 12 a.m. 12 a.m. So I'm going on a trip tonight. Cozy in here I come. I'm going to look for me a sweatsuit to throw on. Yeah. Zohan, congratulations.
Brothers, now, she want to sell it tonight at 12 a.m. All right, but he's the mayor-elect. All right, he's not going to be the mayor until January. So she got to wait until January. All right, but they trying to throw that punani out tonight. But traditional marriages, let's just say this. Let's say we have an idea to bring back traditionalism. And we said, for shits and giggles, let's start in New York City. Is it going to happen? No. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. All right. We see the votes. It's not gonna happen. All right. Now I know you don't want. Well, we won't start it there. We'll just start it in Florida. Okay, go ahead. It's gonna have to eventually get up to New York City. Okay, because you want this to be in America, but it ain't gonna happen in New York City, and it ain't gonna happen anywhere other than them podunk red states that nobody wants to live in. Tornado Alley, where it's hot 115 degrees and you can boil bake eggs and fry eggs on the sidewalk in the summer. Right, places where there's no niggas. Right, there ain't a nigga in sight. These are your pipe dream places where you're gonna have some Little House on the Prairie fantasy where there's tumbleweed in the middle of Lubbock, Texas. Okay, where nobody wants to live, armadillos and shit, in the middle of Silver City, New Mexico, Lordsburg, New Mexico. All right, where there's about 5,000 people. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Midland, Texas, Topeka, Kansas, Boise, Idaho. All right, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Not even Omaha, Nebraska, nigga. You're not even there. You ain't getting into Omaha. Too many niggas there. Lynchburg, South Carolina. Paducah, Kentucky. All right. Places nobody wants to live. The places where airplanes fly the fuck over there. All right. We don't even stop there. You can't get a one way. We can't get a nonstop flight out of none of our airports. If that's where you're gonna start it and preserve it and keep it going, you in Shit's Creek. You up Shit's Creek, bro. You up Shit's Creek. Let's start it in New York, Mister the Governor. We gonna get the politics under control. We gonna bring back traditionalism. Let's start it in New York. It ain't gonna happen. Let's take a look at the numbers. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen in California. Not San Diego. Not Los Angeles. Not even Orange County. Not even Orange County. Orange County like their trophy wives, and they love divorce. Divorce rate in Orange County 70%, and this is conservative red Orange County. It's a red county, and they got a 70% divorce rate. Okay, traditionalism, huh? They love their divorce and trophy wives, and they love their Botox and breast implants, and they love their divorce attorneys. They love them. Let me see if we can show this. And they love to spend money they ain't got. Let me see, I got to make this a little bit larger. That's what she said. By the way, the California divorce rate, okay, it's near 70% itself. Okay, the 2012 figure, 75%. All right, not any longer. So the divorce rate has dropped. So has the marital rate. So has the rate of marriage. Now, I'm not in Arizona, no. So, with this being said, the numbers are telling us, here's what the numbers are telling us. Gen Z women voted for Mamdani 84%. All right. Mamdani got 84% of the Gen Z female vote. Now, the other candidates weren't that good, I have to admit. You had former Governor Cuomo, who got sued for violating one of his white Millie Mouth Muskrat interns and looking like a fool during COVID. The NWO, New World Order, didn't back him. He had to become an independent to run. All right. He was a staunch Democrat, and they said, step to the side. He was like, I will not. They was like, well, you ain't going to win. But he did pretty good. He did pretty good considering he finished in second place. Then you had, is it Silva? It is Sliwa. And if you guys don't know who he is, for what I remember of him, he was one of the original guardian angels back from the 1980s. Okay. So for the people who don't know, he was a guardian angel back in the day. He used to wear the beret and shit, and they used to wear the damn, crossing guard seatbelt when they be out there. you know, doing street justice and talking to the gangs and all that since the 1980s. And they be out there with their beret. That's him. He's still wearing the beret and the seatbelt shit, like the crossing guard shit. He's still wearing that. But that's what they used to do in the 80s. He was one of the original faces of that. I don't know if the Guardian Angels still are around, but yeah. Oh yeah, he was in Beat Street. So he was in the movie Beat Street back in the day. But he gained notoriety in the 80s for being the between the police and the gangs. So what they would do is they basically are the street justice. Like, you know, they're gonna stop people from fighting and stabbing each other. The Puerto Ricans stabbing the Italians and the Jews, like the blacks getting stabbed up by the Italians. You know, this is before people start shooting each other at will, you know, before the CIA came in and gave everybody guns. So they would get in between, you know, breakdancing crews and the subway, and Puerto Ricans trying to stab people, Dominicans. All right, was he in the Electric Boogaloo or not Beat Street? So that's breaking. So yeah, this was this, and they went out there with no mace, no knives, no guns. They were just going to be, we're the guardian angels. You know what I mean? So that's what they. He said, Death Wish. So that's, it looks like Sliwa. I didn't know who he was, but I wouldn't have recognized him by name. But then when I saw his picture, I'm like, oh, that's the Guardian Angel dude. All right, Guardian Angel nigga. All right, but he went out there, mall cop ass nigga. That's who he was. He was a mall cop, you know, just out there. We're just gonna stop like some of you moral crusaders. We're gonna stop. All right, yeah. Anyway, we're the Guardian Angels. He actually ran for mayor. All right, shout out to him, man. He didn't do too well. He got 7% of the vote, but shout out to him. I mean, any votes is good. You know what I mean? Like anytime you run in one of these races, if you get 1 or 2 votes, you're doing good, bro. Like if I got 10 votes, I would be happy that my name was on the ballot and I got 10 votes. I would be happy as hell. Aren't like, damn, shit. But he got 7% of the vote, in which Gen Z women voted for him. It ain't even registering. Like it don't even show the number. It's so small, it's ridiculous. Okay. It's so small, it's ridiculous. And Mayor Adams, apparently he was on the ballot, but you know, Joe Biden took care of that shit. Right? Joe Biden and the Democrats was like, nah, nigga, nah, go sit down. I'm assuming that he was on there. Plus, he had a whole bunch of issues. He got count that he was paying his Dominican girlfriend 100 grand to throw punani around to him, and then gave her a job. Yeah. So Mayor Adams, I believe, if he was on the ballot, all right, he got so few votes, it's ridiculous. Right? I don't even think he registered. The only people he registered with was men 30 to 44, obviously. Oh, by the way, no relation. All right, no relation. Eric Adams, but the way he operates, he is mahi mahi, pay for play. I don't, you know, that Dominican baddie he had. She was a little old for me, but she was young at some particular point. But he gave her a 6-figure job, and he was clapping them cheeks. I don't think he's married though. I don't think he's married, so it's fair game. But he out there, I got hoes. He got hoes. I don't mind. I don't mind that he was out there with that Dominican strag. Yeah, she was good looking. She was good looking. She had it all, like Lisa. She wasn't playing, bro. All right, I done messed up the leaf here. But anyway, our cigar for the evening. Damn, I done lost the damn. Oh, here it is. Our cigar for the evening is a Monte Cristo. Monte Cristo is our cigar for the evening. This was a gift from Ayo It Takes, I believe. Shout out to you. But I've had several brothers send me cigars, so I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It is a Monte Cristo. For some reason, I didn't tore up the label. But it's the white something. White series, Monte Cristo. All right, the label's like it got the glowing gold. I can't really see it. White series, Monte Cristo. Somebody said try the white series. So this is the white series. Thank you. All right. I smoked cigars for the first time with my homie and his dad and started getting lightheaded. Yeah, you're gonna get lightheaded the first time. It's not like you're gonna get high, but especially if you haven't eaten or you haven't eaten beforehand, you're gonna get lightheaded. You might even get a tummy ache. All right, a little tummy ache or something like that, especially if you haven't eaten. And yeah, you're gonna get a little lightheaded, but you'll be all right. It'll put hair on your chest. But 84% of Gen Z women voted for Mamdani. Now the next group, and by the way, all Gen Z men, 67% of Gen Z men voted for Mamdani. And if you're a Mamdani supporter, shout out to you. I don't have any dog in the fight. We already know he's a socialist. I mean, crazy. Supported by he ran as a Democrat. Democratic socialism, if you look it up, socialism leads to communism, and it's not going to be capitalism. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to be a person that's going to do everything opposite of what would be the standard of America, right? Family values. As a matter of fact, he's allegedly already introduced. Now, we got more information here. Allegedly, he's already introduced that he will have an all-woman transition team. All right. Let me show you this. And of course, rightly so, the women voted for him. All right. An all-woman transition team led by 5 women. All right. Now, shout out to them. A new era. 5 women transition team led by all women. Where's that guy that was saying that he was gonna have the religious right, the Christian church, the Christian church leading the parade to stop women from being feminists? We're gonna use propaganda. hmm Somebody said the stream can't be rewound. I'm not sure. I'm sorry about that. But where the men at? Where the Christian men at? Where the conservative men at? Where the men that gonna have the women out here having sex with them for social pressure? Where they at? hmm Where they at? They're gonna stop them and they're gonna have the MRAs supported. It's gonna take some time. Okay, y'all don't have it planned. So what you suggested ain't happening yet. That's what I thought. Because that's the next thing I'm gonna hear. Oh, it ain't happening yet. You got to give it time. Oh, empty promises. I see. See, that's why what I'm talking about is in real time reality right now. Not what you think could happen, not what could happen, not we gonna have to wait, not if we band together. We don't got time for that. They're making moves, sir. If we change the funding, if we run propaganda, we ain't got no time for that. And I told you this is gonna happen. And they're gonna do so much damage to the traditionalism's fantasy that it ain't no coming back. All right, there's no coming back. They're gonna do so much damage while he's in that office. And trust me, if there's, I don't know who the governor of New York is, probably a Democrat. It's not a surprise. Mm-hmm. Okay. They're gonna do so much damage by the time you get your people in line and your funding for the MRAs, which is a terrorist organization according to the New World Order. That all those facts that I dropped seem to just go over people's heads. All right. Oh, you mean the MRAs, who's listed as a terrorist organization? Yeah. Oh, you mean they're going to get funded by who? Sorge Goros? The Waltons? Walmart? Who's going to fund them? Those facts that I was dropping seemed to go over everybody's head. I wasn't making no sense. And you know where they heard that from? They heard that from Andrew Wilson. He kept saying, "You're not making sense." So people believed him. "You're not making sense. You're incoherent." You see how that works? If he continues to say that, you believe it. He was all over the place. Let me see here. Terrorists organization. I'm going to show you how extreme this motherfucker is. I don't know if I typed it in right. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to need both hands. Men's right advocates. Look at this. This is from the National Archives. I'm going to show you how ridiculous. I'm going to show you how ridiculous shit he was saying. He was saying so many ridiculous things. I didn't even have time to look it up on ChatGPT. Classifying the men's rights movement as a terrorist group. We the people. President Barack Obama. President Barack Obama. It says multiple members of the MRM, self-identified men's right activists, MRAs, have committed atrocities and mass murder. Mass murder and atrocities. The men's rights movement is a misogynist movement that advocates violence against women and girls. That guy sitting across the table from me said, the way we're going to stop and bring back traditionalism is funding the MRAs. And I called that out real time. What? See, those things got him frustrated, in which people said I was emotional and frustrated. He didn't know I knew these things. He just thought I was some other nigga, some Bama. He didn't know that I wasn't going for the okey doke. I was like, I've been around for a long time. You just said that your traditional church is going to fund a known terrorist organization in the United States. Got it. Got it. Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. And so when I called it out, you see, he was flustered and frustrated. He started grabbing his hat. "Oh, I don't understand. You're incoherent." Let me see this. See if we can do it. Pull it up here. Watch this. I'm going to show you another one. Damn, this is typing is small as hell. Typing is small as hell. Look at this. Let me show you this. He said the red face gave it away. Yep, he was not his normal self. I haven't seen that a lot. Look at this. This is the Southern Poverty Law Center. For those who don't know, again, I'm not a low IQ niggy. The Southern Poverty Law Center has been around for a long time. It is ran by a known, you know who-ish guy, and he has been around for a long time. And they called out Paul Elam, Mike Cernovich, and Rush V, which is a dating coach who's an extremist, and it called male supremacy. And it says, and I quote, "Male supremacy is a hateful ideology rooted in the belief of the supposedly innate superiority of cisgender men and their fight to subjugate women, trans men, and non-binary men." Let me scroll down just so you can see. The first group they name, MRAs. Y'all saw that, right? The first group on the list of male supremacists and extremists that hate women and want to subjugate them is MRAs. I'll read it. It's a subgroup of male supremacists who believe that they are fighting against a female conspiracy to oppose men. While they claim to advocate for men, their primary focus has been attacking women and feminists. Now, let me put the phone down. And I want to remind you, he said that men are going to win. Traditionalism is going to win because the church is going to fund in political lobbies the MRAs. Now, you might say, well, that's what they say. That's what Barack Obama said. That's what the national government says. The government, the so-called government you're going to run from your ecclesiastic marriage. Guess who the second group is? MGTOW. The third group, pickup artists. The fourth group, misogynistic incels. They don't say the free agent lifestyle, but it sounds like his fat ass is on that list. That's what it sounds like. Because he put himself square on that list when he told you, Hope Strategists, that the MRAs are going to bring back through the church traditionalism, funded by special interest groups and lobbies. He won, huh? Shout out to San Jose State. This is why I was looking the way I was, because he was selling a dream to you that you guys didn't realize because you're not in the know. He didn't even know I was in the know. But when I challenged him, all he did was, you're not making sense. And it's okay. But now we see further proof that it ain't gonna work because Mamdani and the Gen Z women done sealed the fate for the rest of the country, because now California is gonna be next. They already had Prop 50. And then go down the list. Illinois, that's where it goes next. Then you're gonna have small pockets of blue areas, Miami. Okay, it's next. He says, Andrew, he wants donation for his own MRA group. Yeah, and he also wants to run a cult. And he wants to believe that this is going to be the way if we just band together. But he's just tried to take down one of the biggest advocates that he could have linked up with. But he wanted to win a debate that he couldn't win. He wanted to win a debate that he couldn't win. He wanted to destroy me. He wanted to mop the floor with me. And he certainly didn't do that. He wanted to knock me out. He certainly didn't do that. He wanted the decisive win. And he wanted to make me look like a fool. He didn't do that. It's clear he didn't do that. It's clear that he couldn't even celebrate it. It's clear that he's now cavorting with known CGA haters at the moment. And my streams probably got more people watching than theirs, probably. And people, he felt that I attacked his wife, but he brought her up. I didn't. Not only did he bring her up, he brought her up to compare herself against me, to humiliate me, to say, I bet my wife sold more books than you. So he brought her up, not me. So she's fair game at that point because you used her as a tool to try to humiliate me. Well, now that you wearing the panties, I could talk about her fat ass now too. She fair game then. See, if I brought her up out of the blue, it wouldn't have been right. I agree with that. If I jumped on her neck just out of the blue, it wouldn't have been fair. I wouldn't have done that. But he tried to use her as a tool to try to humiliate me in the book sale category. And I was like, oh, she in this fight too? I don't see her in the room. But I know something you don't know. I know something you don't think I know. So go tell everybody who's out here saying I attacked her, it's false. He brought her up. Then he tried to shove her fucking book down my throat. And he's still trying to figure out my sales number. He won't, because my divorce case would never allow me to put that in public knowledge. He don't know that. He could have asked me that. Why I can't find your numbers? Well, I was in the middle of the divorce when it fucking came out, and my wife would have took it. My ex-wife would have took it to child support anytime she wanted to. So my numbers ain't public. But if he brings her up in the fight, I get to talk about her fat ass too. And probably what she been doing, and the fact that she says that she has 5 kids by 3 men. She's in the game. She fair game. All's fair in love and war. Y'all upholding a stepdaddy. Now, I want to say this. If I, CGA, was a stepdaddy, if I was a stepdaddy, if you found out that I have a single mom that has 2 kids by 2 different men and I married her in a ecclesiastic marriage, what would you say? I'm just curious. Just curious. Just bringing it up. If you found out, and this is his second marriage too, so he's been divorced, and I asked him twice about his divorce. He didn't want to cover it because this probably was an ecclesiastic divorce, but he didn't want to talk about it because it would have ruined him. He was already flustered. Why does that matter? But I was emotional. What about your divorce? What divorce? Your divorce that you had. Why does that matter? It matters, mister. I'm going to mitigate divorce. Ooh. But let's just say I had a single mom living in the Desert Storm bunker. Let's just say I had a single mom that had kids by 2 different men. Let's just say you found out that I have a single mother living with me that I'm going to marry tomorrow after my divorce from my ex. And looking the way she looked, let's say she looked exactly like what she looked like. And you found out that in there's a woman that I'm harboring and protecting and supporting and providing as a black man. And you knew this for the last 8 years that I married a single mother with kids from 2 different men, and I married her and gave her 2 kids. What would y'all say? What would you say? That would be the talk of the nigga manosphere. The nigga manosphere would go crazy. Y'all would call me all kind of shit, the nigga manosphere. But who's talking shit about me? The nigga manosphere. Who are they championing? A man who married a single mother. That's your king? That was what you were waiting for, gentlemen? That was what you were waiting for, to exploit my weakness? You were waiting for a long time. We're going to find CGA's weakness. There's many of them. I'm sure. I don't know why you didn't find them yet. But that's what you're waiting on? That's interesting. I thought the male space didn't like single mothers. I thought marrying single mothers was bad news. I thought, but that's your king? That's your savior? That's interesting, because had that been me, y'all never would have let me got to where I got to. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Step dummy to the third power. Y'all would have never let me got that far. You wouldn't have never let me get this far. And you know it. So he scored a couple of points on me. That was to be expected. He's supposed to be a professional debater. Of course he was going to score. But I locked him up. I had him scrambling and scraping for shit. I even said it live. Look at him. He's scrambling and scraping for shit. He all over the place. I was like, look at him. Scrambling and scraping for shit. He was all in that paper. I didn't see the replay, the complete replay, but I said, look at him. He's scrambling and scraping for shit right now. And he starts scrambling on that paper. Go ahead. See, it was comedy to me because he was just all over the place and he was quite disheveled. That's neither here nor there. Yep, he was drunk and he was probably buzzed from all them cigar weeds he was smoking, but that's neither here nor there. But where's the church? Where's the right wingers stopping New York and Mamdani? Where's the political forces? Where is the money for the MRAs? Where's the traditionalists? And the funny thing about it, you know who's complaining the hardest about Mamdani's election? It's the Christian right conservatives. Go figure. Go look online and see who's complaining the loudest about Mamdani's election. It's the Christian right conservative. Interesting. That's the exact group that I said y'all cooked. That's the exact group that I said y'all cooked. Y'all got a Muslim governor, mayor, who is a known out socialist communists running New York City. Yo, I love it. Yep, see, you want me to stop and come out there and bust grapes. I'm sitting back and I'm gonna enjoy the fucking ride, bro. I ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. I'm gonna sit back and watch this shit. hmm And I'm gonna watch every year as you guys dig yourself a hole deeper and deeper and deeper into this atrocious mindset that you have that the 1950s is going to come back. I'm going to just sit back and wait for the next shoe to drop. What's the next domino to fall? Let's go. Phoenix, who's next? San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. Who's next? It's definitely going to be Los Angeles. You want me to fight a battle that you've already lost, sir? You can win Paducah, Kentucky, and Tupelo, Mississippi. You can win those podunk towns that nobody wants to live in. Way, way, way outside in Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Nobody wants to live there. Nobody wants to live way outside in the caves and hills of Dallas, Texas. Okay? We're headed there, and there's no doubt about it. There's no stopping it. San Diego is going to be next. Los Angeles, it's going to be next. hmm But it's okay. You want to give hope and raise money and funds. I've been accused of being a capitalist and doing things for money, but sounds like he's trying to raise money for something. But what I'm looking at is Gen Z women and men literally voted for a Democratic Socialist to run the mayorship of the largest, most well known city in America. Literally, American city. If you go anywhere on the planet other than America and you ask anybody, name a city in the United States of America, 95% of people outside of America are going to say New York City. Tell me I ain't lying. Tell me I'm not lying. Okay, this is our main city. This is the city that everybody in the know in the world knows. Quite frankly, might be the most populated city in the United States of America. This is the lead city. This is the city that I don't want to say it too much on YouTube, but if there was going to be a coordinated effort to start a war in the United States, they're probably going to start there based on what I know of 2001. It's going to be the place where they're going to start it. They ain't going to start in Paducah, Kentucky, and Tupelo, Mississippi, and Upper Peninsula, Michigan, and Boise, Idaho. Ain't going to do it there. They don't care about those places because they're irrelevant. They don't matter in the grand scheme of things, in the worldwide purview. It's New York City. It's the city that defines the country. It's a very big deal. You can't just dismiss New York City. Oh, it's New York City. They're liberals anyway. Who cares? You're dismissing New York City? Are you crazy? So it's the number one city known as American City. It's the American city. But dude, everything starts in New York City, from fashion to music, and that's how it's always been for many, many years. Now it's a little bit different because we have the internet, but New York City is what people know. Wall Street, Tribeca, Soho. I could tell when you haven't traveled, you sound ignorant, but it's New York City. It's the first place immigrants go to make it. The New York Stock Exchange. New York City still rules America. When immigrants come here, they're like, we're going to go to New York. Everybody knows this. There's no fighting this. Then the next one is Los Angeles. Everybody knows this. In fact, when I'm in Europe and other places, people say, I want to come to America and I want to go to New York and Los Angeles. And I say, well, on the same trip, probably not going to happen. You're going to have to spend a month and a half, or 2 months, because geographically, it's pretty far apart. Geographically, Europe and other places, everything's close, you know, within a 5-hour drive. But when I tell them, no, New York is on the East Coast, Los Angeles is way over there, it's 3,000 miles apart. You're not going there unless you have 2 months, all right? Because you got to do everything New York and then you got to get over to Los Angeles. You're not going there. But they don't know it because they don't know. All right, you gotta understand, they don't know. They just know New York and LA, that they're gonna go to America and go to New York and LA. And I'm like, no, you're not. So, in terms of the two states that are probably the biggest threat, or if action's taken against America, those two places are going to be targeted. And then Chicago's the second city. So you can probably anticipate that. But it's so centrally located on the geographic of America that sometimes they could probably dodge a bullet, right? They could dodge it. But you got New York and LA on the oceans, Pacific, so much on the edge that they're easy and vulnerable, all right, from any direction. You know what I mean? If you want to come in from Europe and the Atlantic Ocean, New York City. If you want to come to the West, Pacific Ocean, Los Angeles. So I know you're in denial. I know you're in denial, but it's the truth. What happens in New York and Los Angeles will far, far affect the nation, as opposed to, and listen to me, as opposed to what happens in Michigan and even Texas. What happens in Michigan and Texas, okay, what happens there doesn't really affect the rest of the country. Although Texas is big and they're the Lone Star State, what happens in Texas typically doesn't really leak out for the rest of the country. All right, in terms of policies and politics and this type of thing. If something happened in Michigan, it don't affect the rest of the country. It don't spread out if it originates in Michigan. All right, if it originates in Texas, it really doesn't spread out. It just stays in Texas. Maybe in Oklahoma it'll spread out, or Missouri, or Arkansas, or something like that. It'll maybe spread to that. Yeah, if something happens in Pittsburgh, nothing really affects the rest of the country. It just is in Pittsburgh, and we could just look the other way. Buffalo, Cleveland, these places aren't really political hubs or social economical hubs that it's something happened there. This ain't the time of J.D. Rockefeller in Cleveland, Ohio's dominance in the oil industry. That time is come and gone. What you do have to understand is that when you're talking about what happens in New York, what we just saw, it was going to far impact the country, and fast, before these MRAs can get any funding, before these cults can get any funding, before you hopeful strategists niggas can get any funding. What do I mean here? Now, what's the solution? Yeah, Miami, these places, those things affect the country too. But New York and LA far dominates. Okay. What does this mean? Mm-hmm. man Rich Red said, fast by summer. Something happens in New York by summer, it's on the whole country, right? By the end of the summer. Dance moves, fashion, economics, Wall Street. By the end of the summer, everybody's affected. Wall Street crashes in New York, everybody's affected in days. So what do we do? Okay. What do we do? Do we hold on to hope that things will change? Do we pray to the sky daddy? Do we pray? Do we hope that traditionalism will just find a way? Water seeks its own level? Or do you free yourself? You gotta free yourself. You become a free agent. You can be like, look, y'all can have all this. It's not my duty to provide solutions and protect it. Well, what about your kids? Yeah, they'll be fine because they'll have the ability to move like I move. They'll be able to survive like I survive. They'll be able to have me defend like I defend. They'll be able to train and watch out for the assassins like me, like I do it. You control what you can control, but you can't galvanize a group of people where 85% of men are losers. Right? 85% of men are losers looking for a savior because I feel bad for men. For the last 40 years, you've been ignored and you haven't been placed as a priority in this country, and feminism in the school system. Yeah, I mean, I get it. This is old talking points. Who's impressed by these talking points in this day and age? If you if you're impressed by those talking points in this day and age, well, you're far cooked because everybody knows what's up. I already wrote a book on it. That book is buried. The church, you're gonna wait for the church to galvanize and move people. The black church is cooked. It's a woman's club, so the black church you can't even count on. All right, they got so many fairies and sachet sanchez ass niggas and switch hitters and church reverends fucking all their parishioners and female pastors. You can forget the black church. All right, the black church is not in the game. If you're going to do it in the absence of black people and black men, forget it. All right. So, what the pipe dream of the traditional conservative religious right is that, well, the hell be damned with the black people. We're going to do it without them. No, you're not. You have never done anything without black people in this fucking country. You think you're just going to work around black people? You're stuck with these niggas. And you got to move how they move because everything's going to start not in the country, but in the cities where black people are. You're going to need them to do something. Either get out the fuck out of the way, stand down, arm up, defend. You're going to need niggas. There ain't no America without black people. So you can't just avoid it and work around them and have them stand. You're going to need them as foot soldiers or front line or cannon fodder. You're going to need them niggas as foot soldiers. You're going to need them as people that walk on landmines. You're going to need them. All right. So if your pipe dream as a religious right Christian conservative, what's that group? That white conservative group, Charlie Kirk's group, Turning Point. Okay. If your pipe dream is y'all gonna work around niggas to get to your solution, it ain't gonna happen. Mm-hmm. You gonna need niggas to vote. Every election has come down to niggas. Every presidential election has come down to niggas. And the last 20 elections, the last 4 weeks of the presidential campaign this year was niggas. That's all they focused on. Kamala Harris had niggas, female niggas up there dancing and twerking. They was glad handing and going around. The last damn 5, 10, 15 presidential elections didn't boil down to white people, white women, and niggas. So what y'all gonna do? Y'all can't avoid that. You stuck with these niggas. You stuck with them. You gonna need them. You can bring in all the immigrants you want. At some particular point, you gonna literally shoot yourself in the foot bringing in immigrants to try to keep niggas to not be able to impact this. And that's going to take another 5, 10, 15 years. So This next election, it's going to be black people again, the 13%. So their pipe dream is that they're just going to avoid the black fatigue, and they're just going to be like, we need to set these niggas to the side. They don't matter. At the end of the day, the last 4 weeks of every presidential election, they start tap dancing and motherfucking soft shoeing. And the presidential election, they start dancing. And Hillary Clinton start talking about how much hot sauce she got in her purse. And Kamala Harris start talking about these black men need to come over to our side. Barack Obama starts threatening Michelle Obama's going to come out. All right, y'all going to need them niggas. So if white folks, you white religious right people, you're gonna need niggas. You're gonna need somebody to take the bullets. Yep, the fish fry and catfish nuggets. You're gonna need to fry some fish and get catfish nuggets out. Every single presidential election coming up for the next 5 to 10 years. You're gonna need them catfish nuggets. You're gonna need niggas. You're gonna need niggas to catch bullets. You're gonna need niggas to arm up and fly planes and kamikaze missions. You're gonna need them to front line. You're gonna need foot soldiers. You're gonna need them to stand in front of y'all before you get shot. You're gonna need them. So your pipe dream that you could just avoid this, your 55% of white people in dwindling, you're gonna be able to get around the nigger problem. Even Margaret Sanger knew this is gonna be a problem on America so much that she tried to exterminate y'all niggas with every single propaganda piece for the last 100 years. All right. And successfully is doing it. You're gonna need niggas in prison, all of that. You're gonna need niggas killing each other, all that. You're gonna need them. So whatever these pipe dreams of these white supremacists that believe they gonna save America in the absence of niggas, you're crazy. I even know that, and I'm not a pro-black. You're gonna need them in New York City too. You're gonna need them in New York City too. Look at the. Has anybody ever been to New York City? Press one if you've been to New York City. Yep, you're gonna need test subjects. You're gonna need human experiment. You're gonna need them to take COVID shots. Press one if you've been to New York City, because I'm gonna hit you over the head with something real quick. I'm gonna hit you over the head. Go to New York City. Look at the police force in New York City. Do you see a lot of white people in the police force of the largest police agency in the United States? Are there many white police officers in the New York Police Department? Because I've been there. It's nothing but Dominican, Puerto Ricans, and niggas. That's who is the police force, the largest in the nation. Bitches are gangbang. Police women police officers are gang members' boyfriends, girlfriends. The female police officers in the NYPD go home to gangbanger boyfriends. That's been proven. He says, I see whites. Again, I want you to think, I didn't say there were no whites. Okay? You guys don't listen. I didn't say there were no whites, but I say if you're in Midtown Manhattan, you barely ain't gonna see no white police officers. You're gonna see Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and a few niggas. I didn't say there were none. I said what you're gonna see. Now, when you go out to Westchester County and Long Island and places around Soho District and Topeka, Tribeca, okay, yeah, you're gonna see some white police officers. Because I seen it. I've been to New York many, many times. I lived in New York State. I lived in Long Island for 2 years. All right, that's not New York City, but it's 50 miles from New York City. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. It is what it is. In closing, because we got to close this up and I got to get ready to go to sleep. I'm going to take a shower, wash my beard, and all of that. Yeah, the military too. I mean, yeah, the military too. I'm pretty sure percentage wise it's more whites, but Look at them privates and them niggas getting shipped over there and deployed. And most of the whites come from podunk towns that don't matter. The military recruits from the people who are disenfranchised and impoverished and, left alone. They don't recruit in the middle of New York City. They go to all of them white strongholds that you think are going to bring back traditional conservative, the trailer parks, meth crank neighborhoods. They get them white boys from there. All right. Dudes that was going to have dreams of playing baseball, and now he in the army. He was a high school baseball star, and he in the army now. They go to the black community, the inner cities, the malls. They collect these niggas up. What are you doing with your life? Nothing. Here, come over here and put this vest on. Right here. And we gonna deploy your ass and you gonna get shot at. They don't go to the middle class neighborhoods. They don't go to these suburban neighborhoods where white people sit in there in harmony and kumbaya. They don't go there. Trust me, I lived in the suburbs for many, many years. The military recruiters are not there. This is why I'm so good at debating all of this type of people. I can transverse into any of these conversations because I'm a suburban nigga. I'm not a cityfied nigga. I'm a suburban nigga. I went to school with white people all my life. I was almost always the only nigga in class. So I know white boy condescending tactics and how they debate and how they galvanize a group of niggas to support them when they're going against another nigga. White savior mentality, how they cape for Miss Daisy when another nigga attacks her. I've been around there. I'm a suburban nigga. The military don't recruit there. There's very few military. There's very few military offices in Newport Beach, California. There's very few military offices in Calabasas where the Jews and the white people live. They're not there. There's very few military offices they're in San Diego, but not in La Jolla. Right? Not in La Jolla. Those people are protected from that. They go to the poor areas, white, poor Mexicans, Mexican immigrants, or immigrants, Indian immigrants, poor white women, and nigga areas. Right? Yeah, they in the mall in Detroit. Yep, not Carter by the Sea, not Carmel, not Carmel, and all of that. They go to Oceanside, where there's a bunch of Samoans and white trailer park trash and mud sharks and half breeds. That's what they do. So yeah, if you start thinking about who they're recruiting, you ain't gonna have a military without niggas and Mexicans. Shout out to you, thank you, man. People know that I did a great job in the Bay. It's just propaganda. You know what it was? Is hey, they wanted him to win decisively, so they're trying to convince you that he won decisively. I'll even be gracious and say it was a toss up, but it wasn't. I mean, if you watch it without the clips and you watch it straight through, he wasn't even close. He was frustrated and flustered. But they're trying to put that on me. Okay. But it's just propaganda because they wanted him to win because he was the favorite. He was the favorite going into it. He was the one that he's a professional. He was supposed to come in and just mop the floor, and he certainly didn't do that. It is so they wanted it to be that, so they have to make it that. But really, they know they can't crown me because they would. What do they do with him? What did they do with him if they gotta say, yeah, CGA took it. It was down the middle, it was close, it was a slugfest. But CGA outshined him. What do they do with him? He falls down, whoever's pushing him up and funding him, he collapses. By me saying things about his wife and his mate selection, and he doesn't follow his own advice. Right? He's a fraud. It would be difficult because they don't have a savior then. So they needed me to take the fall. and they set me up to take the fall. And they said, all right, CGA could take the fall here because he's up and coming. He has an ego. He's cocky. He's overconfident. He thinks he's so good. Let's go ahead and let him take the fall. But I said, not me. Not me. I'm not coming here to take the fall. I'm not going to fall in the third round and let you slip that punch. I'm going to take it to the 12th round. I'm going to take it to round 12, and we're going to take it to the cards. And that's what you have. You have people now that the judges have to decide. And that point, it's whatever the judges decide. If the majority of people say he won on the cards, which people are saying, then you come on my side, the majority of my side say I won because it wasn't a decisive knockout, which they were anticipating. But he was being condescending and everything that they're saying I was, he was that, which was funny. I'm like, damn, that's exactly how I felt he was towards me, which is weird. All right. I'm like, man, this is the Twilight Zone. It's the Twilight Zone. Everything they say that I was doing, he was the one doing it. And most of the time he was doing it first. He was initiating and I was mirroring him. Anything that he did, I mirrored him. So it was kind of like, okay, if I punch second, I get caught punching him. Right. And he gets to put his hands up and go, oh, I'm being attacked. Oh, he's being unfair. Oh, he's attacking me. Oh, he's emotional, but he was the one doing all of it. If you look at it, he was doing it first, but white savior, but I'm not going to bring the race into it. But yeah, but I was mirroring him the whole debate. But he did, I did. And so I matched his energy. Whatever his energy was, I matched it. If he came in strong, I came in strong. Pause. If he didn't answer a question, I didn't answer a question. If he says, I'm not going to talk about something different, I say, I'm not going to talk about something different. If he doesn't give me numbers, I don't give him numbers. Right? That's how it went the whole time. He didn't want to give me numbers. I asked him multiple times, did you want to give me the numbers of the amount of people that follow your ecclesiastic marriage? There are no numbers. Then he asked me, how many books have I sold? No numbers. That was mirroring. See? But then he claims I don't answer questions. If I tell him, well, I don't want to talk about religion anymore, can we change the subject to this? Then he asks me a question and he says, can you answer this question? No, because you just told me no. So I'm going to tell you no. But then when I do it, oh, this guy don't have solutions. All right, well, I wasn't here to provide solutions. Who told you that? If he raised his voice, I raised my voice. If he was condescending, I was condescending back in return. If he was arrogant, I was arrogant back in return. But they only caught me doing it every single time. So we see how that's going. And by the way, these men on that side of the clanosphere have been doing this for years towards me. Okay. And I don't want to make it about race because, you can, because it's obvious, because there was a debate between a black guy and a white guy. Inevitably in America is going to be about race. But these white clanosphere people have been doing this for a long time. Rollo Tomasi has been attempting to do this to me for a long time. Some of these guys, they hide behind their channels. They have faceless channels. They've been doing this all the time. They've been doing this for years. The MDL guy, the BBL DL guy, he's been doing this for a long time. They've been trying to get me to do this, but what did I do? I said, I'm not going to do debates because they always end up like this. Debates are worthless. They're worthless in the YouTube space. So I was like, they've been trying to draw me out for a long time. And I said, I'm going to pick who I want to pick. Now, they brought me in. They brought Andrew Wilson to me, just so you guys know. They brought him to me, which means there was a coordinated effort to bring him to me specifically. Because I live in Las Vegas. The guy that runs the show lives in Las Vegas. He's not from Las Vegas. How did he get in here? By the way, I was supposed to also debate I can't remember his name, but Tony Gaskins. A week before, I was supposed to debate Tony Gaskins on a show called, it's a black show. It's two guys. I can't remember those brothers' names. But what's those two guys' names? And you guys know none of these Manosphere channels have not reviewed my videos for years. They literally act like I didn't exist. But now all of a sudden, they want to review these videos. No, it's damn, I can't. It's not the Hodge twins, but they're the two black guys in the Atlanta. Yeah, hardly initiated. Hardly initiated. So a week before this debate, I was supposed to go on Hardly Initiated, and they brought Officer Tatum to me, so I can see that I could feel that there was something going on. All right, because all of a sudden people were lining up to pick me specifically. Now this could be happenstance, but you know me, I always think there's an energy going on here. So Harley Initiated contacted me, you know, about a month and a half ago. I think I was in Costa Rica or Colombia, I can't remember. And they were like, we want you to debate. So then they came and said, I want you to debate Officer Tatum. So that was the first person. Then I went on the show for the guy that we did the debate in Las Vegas. I went on his show, and somebody set not set me up. Somebody introduced me to him. So I went on his show during the summer, but the video didn't get released until October, 2 months later. So I went on his show. Those videos did the best on his channel of any video in months. My one video did better than any video he had on his channel for months. So that video got other people. Now then the Hardly Initiated came in. They said, we want you to debate Officer Tatum. I don't know, it fell through. And so I said yes. And then we were going to go to Atlanta. So then it fell through. And so they were like, we're going to get somebody else. Then they were going to get Tony Gaskins. So when that fell in, they planned that. That was supposed to be last week. All right, I was going to go to Atlanta. But then they were like, oh, we can't get the studio, so we're going to do it virtual, which I was like, the virtual thing to me is, I don't think debate's virtual. It's worse because people can act a monkey in their home studio. I was like, okay, you know, I'll do it virtually, I guess. But then when that happened, then this came up with Andrew Wilson. So the guy that did a podcast 2 months during the summer, he said, hey, we want you to debate Andrew Wilson. All right. And so I didn't look for these things. They came to me. Okay, they came to me. So 1 week I'm supposed to debate Tony Gaskins, and that was going to be followed up by Andrew Wilson. I didn't back down once. I was like, I'll take them on easily. And these are two heavy hitters. Oh, Officer Tatum was the first pull up. So these are three people with millions of subscribers, 500,000. Right? These are bigger channels than me. And somebody said they're on live and they got 400 followers. I got more followers than them right now. I'm pulling away from their followers. Isn't that crazy? They're probably talking about me, and I'm on live and I got more followers. I mean, more people watching on a smaller channel, mind you. So yeah, that was supposed to be the thing. So I was supposed to do the Tony Gaskins. Then they wanted to do a virtual. And guess what? Then what happened was it fell through. I didn't even hear from them. I didn't even hear from them. The interview did not go on. Okay. So I didn't even hear from them. I never got another message. So I was like, all right, I'm not begging for it. I'm not begging for it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then I was like, okay, I'll do the Andrew Wilson thing. And I did a 5-hour podcast prior to it. And then I went over there, drove over there, put on my suit, and I went to it. So go over to their stream and go ahead and say Coach Gang won. Coach Gang, go over to their stream. If you can watch my stream and theirs at the same time, tell them Coach Gang. And somebody said, I have no reason to debate Officer Tatum. That matchup is contrived. All right. Yeah, I was like, Officer Tatum? All right. I'm like, whatever, I'll debate Officer Tatum, but I don't think there's much he can gain from that. There's not much. I think he loses. That's a definitely like if he shows bad against me, that's a big L. So he probably wanted no parts of that. Tony Gaskins as well. He's probably not a great debater. So that wouldn't have done well either. And I really wouldn't have gone hard on them. So Tony Gaskins would have been good because he would have came with the whole Christian thing too. All right, but he would have had the Christian thing. But I've never. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen him debate too much. And then the next week it's the Andrew Wilson. But I don't even know. Oh, I don't know what the topic was. All right, and most of the time I don't even care when I set these up. In fact, when I had the debate against Hafiz, I didn't even know what the topic was. I don't even know anything about it. All right, I asked them a few questions. I was already in Florida, so I said I'm going to be in Florida doing Fresh and Fit, and I'll come over there, drive up there to you. And so I drove up to Fort Lauderdale to their studio, and Hafiz was sitting in the room. All right. They told me originally I was going to be on the show with two women. One woman was the woman that got famous with Pearl. I can't remember her name, no disrespect. Okay. But the two women, it was the OnlyFans woman, and then there was another young lady that was supposed to be on the stream. Hafiz was not supposed to be on the stream. And go ahead and tell them that I'm live over here so they go know I got more numbers than them. Um, was it Addie? What's her name? Nah, it was a woman that got famous with Pearl. And it actually was Pearl got famous, her channel got famous because a video went viral of her in a car saying something about traditional women. But Pearl's channel had the video. I can't remember the woman's name, but she was end up being the one Allie. Yeah, I think she ended up being the woman that said that her husband gives her $12 allowance. So yeah, I believe that's her name, Allie. She was married to end up saying that she was married to a sugar daddy. Yeah, the real Fem Sapien. So it was the real Fem Sapien, and then the woman that was the OnlyFans wife, and me. That was the three people that I was told was going to be on the show. And I always ask, who's going to be on the show? Because I don't want people to show up that I wasn't prepared for. And so I don't want to show up and think, matter of fact, I initially thought when the Soscast reached out to me, I originally thought that I was going to do my own interview. Okay. I was like, I'm going to do an interview because what I knew of the Soscast at the time is that they did an interview with Andrew Tate. So that's all I knew. All right. I was like, oh, I see they did an interview with Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was sitting in a hotel room or wherever they were. And that one guy, PBD, and Sosnick was interviewing Andrew Tate. So that's what I originally thought it was. And when I got to Miami, when I did the Fresh and Fit podcast, I was like, okay, who else is going to be on the show? And they told me Fem Sapien and this OnlyFans woman. And I was like, okay, whatever. But when I get to the studio, I walk in, they tell me that there's a green room over here. They show me the green room, and they were like, you can sit here. And they basically kind of push me over here. They like, go sit in here. But what I said was, oh, let me go to the bathroom. So they were going to put me in this green room and close the door. And they did this to Jason Whitlock as well. But what I said was, typically if somebody tells me to sit down, I don't sit down. All right, I never sit down. So if somebody says, "Oh, hey, yeah, here's a job interview. Sit right here and wait." I normally don't do it. I normally just stay standing up. I walk around. I walk around the office. I want to see what's going on. I don't want to just be led into a back door and go into this room. So So what I did was I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh, okay, that's great. Let me walk to the bathroom. And the bathroom was way across from the green room. So when I come back from the bathroom, I walk into this area. I'm like snooping. I'm just like looking around and I'm like, because I'm always interested in how things are set up. I'm always interested in offices and how they employ people. So I'm walking around cubicles. I'm looking at shit. And I get to this room and it's a very dark room, but it has like an aquarium in it, right? It has an aquarium. So it's kind of darkened. But it's a light in there, and I can't remember if it was an aquarium or something like that, but it was kind of lit in a dark room. And so I was like, "What's in here?" And I walk over there, and Hafiz is sitting in that room. Hafiz is sitting in that room, that dark room in an aquarium. And so I see a black man writing, scribing, kind of like scrambling, scraping, like Andrew Wilson was. He's writing notes, and I look. I don't recognize him at the time, but I was like, "What's up?" Because black guy, typical how black people do. They go, "What's up?" You know. So I see this guy sitting there, a black guy. He's in a suit, but I don't think he had the jacket on. So I look and I was like, "What's up?" He didn't say anything to me, but I didn't recognize him as a feast at the time. So I was like, "That's weird." He didn't even say anything. All right. So I was like, "Okay, all right, that's weird. All right, he didn't even address me, but I'm not thinking that he's going to be on the show. I'm not thinking that's a feast. I'm like, whatever. So what I do is I just go over to the green room and they had some snacks and candy and coffee. So I just go in the green room and I look on the board. On the board, it says Allie, not the Femme Sapien Allie, the woman, the OnlyFans wife was named Allie as well, if I'm not mistaken. I look on the board and it says Allie, Coach Greg Adams, and Hafiz on the board. That's when I was like, Hafiz? I didn't know Hafiz was going to be on the show. So that's when I was like, oh, the black guy is Hafiz. That was Hafiz. I was like, what is he doing here? What is he doing here? I didn't know he was going to be here because the last email I had before I even drove up from Miami to Fort Lauderdale that morning or the day before, they said, they didn't say Hafiz was going to be there, but is Hafiz from Miami? Is he from that area? No, I think Hafiz is from Atlanta. So they knew Hafiz was going to be there the entire time when I asked who was going to be on the show. Yes. So when I asked, when I was in Miami and I had done the Fresh Fit show, they knew Hafiz was there. They never said, oh, he's from Houston? They never said Hafiz was on the show. So they knew he was, but they never said it. And I was like, that's interesting. So I go back in the green room and I'm looking at the board. I was like, that's interesting, but I'm still not like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of any of these people on the internet because, I was a known person before this. This is, I don't prepare for debates. I don't go in and be like, I need to say this, I need to say that. I'll have a couple of thoughts and this and that. So I go in the studio. They're already set up. Adam's set up. The producers are set up. The OnlyFans wife is in the chair. Hafiz is in the chair. They pull me last to the studio. That's why I'm sitting in that chair. So that chair that I'm sitting in, that was the last open chair. Everybody's seated, mic'd up and everything. Okay? Everybody's seated, mic'd up, prepared. They got their notes. And I'm walking in and I see Hafiz. I know it's Hafiz now. And I said, what's up? He didn't say anything to me again. Again, he said nothing to me. So I knew, I was like, this guy is going to be hostile towards me. So that's why you see in that debate, my demeanor's different than the Andrew Wilson debate, because I knew I was debating Andrew Wilson. My demeanor in the Hafiz debate was like I'm sitting there like this, like, okay, keep your composure, come in calm, don't Be erratic, don't be surprised, act like you're here, act like you knew you were going to be here. So that's why you see the difference between the debate between Andrew Wilson and me versus the debate with Hafiz and I was completely like, okay, I need to be like, so I need to literally see and hear what's going on so I know what's going on. All right. In the Andrew Wilson debate, I was already ready to go. All right. Meaning that I knew it was him and I was anticipating somebody else to show up and I would have denied the interview. Now, let me give you another piece of information that people don't know. When I was invited to debate Andrew Wilson, when I was invited to debate Andrew Wilson, I was told it was going to be pre-recorded. I was told it was going to be a pre-recorded interview. And I was like, okay, okay, we're gonna do an interview. And I've seen on this channel, they've had pre-recorded interviews where they like my interview, my first interview was pre-recorded. It was recorded about a month and a half or 2 months before it even appeared on this channel. So I said, okay, since it's pre-recorded, by the time this appears on the internet, I will be in Thailand. I'm going to be in Asia, so I'm not even going to be here in the United States by the time this video debuts, based on what I know from the last one. It took them months for them to release the video because I think at the time they didn't think I was a big name, but it ended up being their most viewed video that they posted all month. Okay, so I'm looking before I leave for the stream. All right, I'm doing my 5-hour stream. They text me. He texts me during the stream, the guy that runs the channel. And he said, Andrew Wilson wants to do it live. Okay, but I was doing my stream. I went over like 5.5 hours. All right. And so I didn't see the text. But I wrapped up my stream around 1:30, 1:45. I'm supposed to be at their studio at 2:45. So I only had a little bit of time to jump in the shower, prepare, wash up, all right, because I'm funky and sweating and musty from my stream. And they go, Andrew Wilson wants to do it live. And I was like, interesting. That wasn't the plan. The plan was to do it pre-recorded. And I was like, why does he want to do it live? But you know me, I'm not trying to be one of those asshole type of guy. What is this bullshit? And be conspiratorial and say no. Because if I say no, at the time I'm doing my stream, I'm assuming they have the thumbnail up and prepared. I don't want to back out of it, right? I'm like, damn, I would look weird if I backed out of it because they want to do it live. I'm like, it's already set. I'm already planning on going over there. I'm used to being on live, so I was like, I'll go and do it live. Then they were like, give me your stream keys. We're gonna host it on your channel. You're gonna host it on my channel? Why isn't it not gonna be hosted on the main people's channel? Why the people doing the interview? Why is it not gonna be hosted on their channel? So I'm like, are they trying to play me? Are they trying to humiliate me on my own channel? What what we doing? So they want to host it. So I get there, I'm driving and they're texting me, but I typically are driving, so I don't drive and text too much because I drove my G-Wagon. I have a Porsche, so I'm not trying to drive and text within those cars. And but they're texting me, stream key, here's my producer, and this and that. So I go, interesting. They want to do it live. They're asking for my stream keys. So I get there, and I'm setting up the live stream on that laptop that you see the moderator on. Okay. You see the moderator with that laptop there. I'm putting my stream key in the laptop to host it on my channel. And Andrew Wilson says, I'm just going to mirror your live stream to my channel. And I'm like, whatever. So at this point, I'm like, something's up. They have something planned. They're in. They're trying to get me to look bad on my own channel and humiliate. I don't know what's going on. But the more times I say no, I'm already there. What is this shit? The more I look like, I'm gonna be on the defensive. I'm gonna be on the defensive. So I'm like, whatever, let's go. Put my stream key in. I made sure I signed out when I left, but put my stream key in, and they're like, y'all ready? So when the stream starts, because their producers are like, we're gonna start the stream because in order for the stream to start, I have to press live on my channel. All right. It doesn't go unless I go live on my channel. So what if you guys don't know, when you set up a stream, when you set up a stream, um, and it goes to whatever streaming platform, I have to go press live. So there's a button that lights up and says you have a stream set up. You have to press live. So I'm having to go on his laptop and press live. All right. And I'm like, this is interesting, man. This is interesting. So I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. It's weird, but I'm like, whatever. So I press live. That's why when you see it, the producer can't start the stream on his side unless I press live. So that's why the original posting, which is still on my channel, you see there's like 5 minutes of us sitting there. And you can hear us kind of talking. You can see us writing notes. I only wrote like 4 or 5 things on my paper because I was like, whatever. Okay, so it pops up the first couple of minutes of the unedited version, which I only have the unedited version. Okay. um, you can see us set up. We can see them setting up because they're trying to set it up so they can go live. So the producer's like, you guys are live. They can see you. They can hear you. At that point, I didn't think they could hear me. This is why there's a conversation between me and Andrew Wilson. You can see the demeanor. He's not attacking me. Okay. He's not in his character yet. So he's laughing. We're jovial. That's how we were the first 30 minutes. We were not in the green room. We were kind of in the room before we get in the studio, and we were jovial. We were laughing. We were homeboys. It was like, yeah. And we were talking about the suit. He was saying he doesn't look good wearing suits, right? We were laughing and chuckling, and we were talking about this. And soon as we get where we go, we're going live. Okay, let's start the debate. He switched. He switched up. He got into character. Okay, which is normal. Any profession does this. I've been in college basketball. That's what happens. You're laughing at, you're at center court before the game, and you laughing and sniggling, and then they pressing you the whole game and up 30. All right, and you're like, damn, y'all niggas, yo, I thought we were friends, and you pressing the whole game. All right, humiliating me. But he got into character. If you watch it, it's still on my channel. He wasn't like that when we were live, but we weren't active. But so he went full game face. Because before, when we were live, if you watch it, he's talking about he has a hat on, which that hat was pivotal. It shows how frustrated he was. Angry Man talked about this, is that he kept messing with that hat. All right. But, you know, when the debate started, the moderator asked one question in a debate. He asked one question, which is, this is not a debate. So in a typical debate, you're not, if you have a moderator, I'm expecting the moderator to ask question, and then we address it, and then we move on. That's how I'm expecting the debate to go. But now the person's asking me questions back and forth, and the moderator saying nothing. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is no longer a debate. This is like, I'm going to attack you, you're going to attack me. All right, I'm going to ask you questions, and you got to be under the pressure of me asking you questions. I'm like, okay, we didn't prepare for any of that. We didn't prepare for any of that. Nobody told me that that's how it was going to run. So I had no clue that it was just going to be this back and forth, and he was going to, what's this and what is this? We never we never discussed this. And so it's going on, and I'm just adapting, right? I'm assuming they might have discussed it because they were there before I got there. I was told to get there at 2:45, and they were already there. In fact, you probably didn't see that part, but there was a guy that was his manager that was doing an interview before we did our debate. All right, so he was already doing the show and interview. You wouldn't have seen that part. But by the way, his manager was sitting over here. All right, so where Andrew Wilson's sitting and where I'm sitting right here. His manager is sitting probably about 6 to 8 steps on my side. Okay. So he's sitting like right here. Andrew Wilson sitting there. The moderator's here. I'm here. He's sitting like 6 to 8 steps right here. All right. And he's texting on his phone the whole time. And what I'm assuming is what they do is they sign into these bot accounts and they start attacking. So I think what he said, and I think Andrew Wilson was trying to mirror the debate, but I think he also was signaling to his audience that there was going to be a show. Like, come on in, we're going to do a show. Like, because remember, he can't start his stream until I start my stream. So his audience doesn't know there's going to be a stream. So he's got to go. All right, he's got to go onto wherever his Discord is or his Crucible group is. They got to go set it up over there. So he's like this in his phone. You could probably see it before we were about to start the show. He's got to go in there and tell his people and his bot chat people that he gonna be over here, come in deep because we got CGA. Now I think I posted it on YouTube, community, and locals. That's where I posted it. So, but I was able to do that. And I was still waiting for him to finish up because he was like, "Oh, I'm struggling to set up the mirroring and all of that stuff." Oh, and I think also what happened was he said as he was setting it up, his Samsung phone went through some sort of update, so he had to wait. That's what also happened. He was like, "Oh, my phone wants to update, so we gotta wait." So that's why if you see my stream, you see there's a delay of us starting. So he had his manager, his Samsung phone's updating. He was like, "We gotta wait. We gotta wait till my phone updates so I can post the stream on my channel." He says right here, it's a pure waste of my time. My bag went up. All right, my bag went up. My bag ain't go down. I still got the same viewers. So that was the whole thing. And then once the debate started, he got his game face on, and then he switched up and he started going in. And I was like, here we are. All right, this is what we doing. And so, I did see him out there chain smoking a couple times and with his manager, and they were talking and meeting. And then they did that after the stream. After the stream ended, I'm giving y'all background information. Plus, I'm holding up their stream over there. All right, because how many viewers do they got over there? I can't really tell. All right, what I'm trying to do is keep my viewers higher than theirs. All right, are they still on over there? He said he kept saying, "Calm down." Yeah. Oh, by the way, another bit of information. I was supposed to be on Fresh and Fit after I did the interview. This is shit that y'all don't know behind the scenes. So this is why I actually had a JUCO. I had a JUCO set up, but I couldn't set her up because Fresh and Fit told me they were going to be in Las Vegas. And they told me while they were in Miami. And then Fresh messaged me. He's like, "We're going to be in Las Vegas. Come to the show on Monday." And I was like, "Dude, I'm doing this debate with Andrew Wilson." He knew about this. And he was like, "I know." Oh, another bit of information. Another bit of information. Another bit of information. The guy that's the host of the show, the guy that's the host of the show. So remember, I got my stream, my 5-hour stream. I'm going to do the debate with Andrew Wilson. Then I'm going to go over to Fresh and Fit. All right. And I was at the gym, and the guy that does the stream that we were on the debate, he goes to my gym. I didn't know this. That was the first time I saw him, but I was working in a little workstation, and I saw him walk by, and I was like, "Sean." And he was like, "Oh, what's up, CGA?" He gave me dap. He's like 6'6". So if you see a picture of us, he's 6'6", and I'm 5 foot, damn near a foot shorter than him. And so he sees me. He's like, "What's up?" And he was like, "We still good for our debate?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You're gonna go on Michael Certain afterwards, right?" Huh? I'm gonna go on who? Yes. That's what he said to me in the gym, probably the weekend before. That had to been like Thursday or Friday, and I'm debating Andrew Wilson on Monday. I'm supposed to go on Fresh and Fit after um, the the debate with Andrew Wilson, so my whole Monday's tied up. And I said, I don't know anything about Michael Sertain. I don't know anything about Michael Sertain. Who are you talking about? So I was like, yeah, I'm going on Michael Sertain. Now, if you guys don't know, the studio Fresh and Fit uses in Las Vegas, Michael Sertain uses that studio too. All right. So Michael Sertain is buddy buddy with Rollo Tomasi. All right. Rollo Tomasi, I believe, lives in Nevada too, but not in Las Vegas. Michael Sertain, I believe, lives in Nevada too. Oh, Las Vegas. Michael Sertain lives in Las Vegas. I've seen him once at a strip club. He won't tell you that, but yeah. All right. So I was like, hmm. So I text Fresh right away. I was like, hey, Fresh, am I still coming on the show on Monday? He was like, yeah. And I said, who am I going to be on the show with? Who am I going to be on the show with? Now, they must have been doing a live stream because I didn't hear from him. He was responding immediately like Fresh normally does. He was responding immediately, but when I asked who's going to be on the show, he didn't respond. I was like, this is getting weird, right? This is interesting. So then later on, I think I go back home from the gym, and I go back home from the gym, and Fresh texts me, or I think he texted or called me, and he was like, "Yo, what's up, CGA?" I was like, "What's up?" By the way, Fresh Walter, the way I got on this debate was originally from Fresh. So Fresh introduced me to Shawn Michael. Michael interviews me, and then Shawn Michael sets up the debate with Andrew Wilson. So all of this originated with Fresh. So I said, Fresh. So Fresh contacts. He calls me. He FaceTimes me. He was like, "Yo, CGA, what's up? What's up?" He's in the studio with, and he was like, "Look who I'm with." He's in the studio with Tommy Sotomayor. He's in the studio with Tommy Sotomayor. So he shows Tommy Sotomayor to me on the phone. And I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "What's up, Tommy?" And Tommy knew who I was. He was like, "What's up, CGA?" So this behind the scenes shit where people say they don't know who people are is a bullshit. So Tommy Sotomayor knew me right away. He was like, "Yo, what's up, CGA?" And Tommy Sotomayor, we had messaged each other on Twitter, but I don't check the messages. And Tommy Sotomayor about 6 months ago was like, "Yeah, let's do a collab." All right. So I was like, "Yeah, man." And then he was like, "Yo, I got my YouTube channel back." I was like, "Good, man. Congratulations. Shout out to you. You a legend." And then I said, "Yeah, let's get together." I was like, "Where do you live?" And blah, blah, blah. And then Fresh connected me and Tommy Sotomayor. But before I got off the chat with Fresh, I said, "Who's going to be on the show with me when you come to Las Vegas?" And then he talks to Myron. He said, "Myron, who's going to be on the show with us?" Me and CGA. Myron goes, "I don't know, just CGA." So remember, I heard Michael Sertain. So I'm trying to see what they say, right? Is Michael Sertain going to show up? So Myron's like, just CGA. Now, again, just so you guys know, we've done this before in Vegas, and it was just me. So, I'm trusting that it's just going to be me again and nobody else. But I also heard Shawn Michaels say you're going to go on Michael Sertain. All right, so I'm just trying to clear it up. Okay, I'm just trying to clear shit up. But they were kind of like, no, just you and see, just you. So I was like, all right, cool. All right, I got your word. I got your word, man to man. So back to Monday. I do my 5 hour stream. I shower, get in the shower. I do the debate. They switch it to live. We do that live debate. I'm supposed to go over to Fresh and Fit. But normally what they do is they text me. They like, hey, you come in, the show time starts here. They normally are organized and they text me. But I had to go back home and feed Nova. So my plan was to go back home after the debate with Andrew Wilson, feed Nova, and then drive over there to Fresh and Fit. But guess what happened? I didn't hear from Myron. I didn't hear from Fresh. All right. And I'm not typically one to be like, hey, what's going on? So I was like, I guess I'm not on the show. And then when I got home after the Andrew Wilson debate, I basically just pulled up. I had to download the stream from my work computer in my office so I can clip it. And so then I put it in my Opus clip, and I immediately put a clip out, a short. And my son messages me. He was like, "Damn, they on your head in the comment section." All right. So my son texts me on Snapchat. He was like, "They on your head in the comment section. What happened?" My son didn't see the debate. He just saw that there was a stream, and then he looks in the comments, and then all the Andrew Wilson's people is just on my neck. He was like, "What happened?" So I'm like, "What?" I didn't see any comments. I haven't seen anything. I was just downloading the stream, feeding Nova, and ready to go over to Fresh. Um, but so I'm like, what's going on? He was like, damn, they on your neck, bro. They on your neck. And I was like, what? And so I go, what? I go look down the stream to pull it down and download it. And I'm looking at the comments, and I was like, oh shit. Then my mom was talking to someone else that knows me. And she was like, yo, somebody said you was in the debate. And she was like, it's out of control. So my mom's texting me. She was like, what's happening? She was like, what is going on? So my mom's texting me because the person that knows me is watching the debate. My neighbor, a couple houses down, is watching the debate. He knew about the debate before me because he knows Sean Michael Kelly. So my son is like, what the fuck? They on your head? My mom is like, what's happening? What happened? And I'm in the middle of like a big stream everybody's going to be chopping up for the next couple of weeks. So I'm like, what's going on? But I'm just trying to get over to feed my dog and change my clothes and download the stream so I could go see Fresh. But what happened was I download the stream, then I'm looking at a couple of comments. The first 5 or 10 comments, I was like, oh shit. On my channel, I was like, damn, they going in. So I was like, I'm texting my son. I'm like, damn, they going in. This is crazy. So I was like, all right, but I don't got time, right? So I'm trying to, get dressed. But then I look at Fresh and Fit's channel, and it's another nigga on the stream, right? So there's another guy on their channel at the time. I don't know who the guy was, but it was like 200 people watching. And so I look, I said, I guess I'm not on the show. I guess I'm not on the show because I see another dude and they're interviewing him. So I was like, I guess they started without me. I don't know what happened. They didn't message me. So I was like, I guess the rest of the night is off. And so then I go back and like, okay, let me edit it and throw my stream in the clips, Opus clips. So the 1 or 2 clips that I show from the stream is literally from Opus clips. All right. And I'm literally like, okay, I downloaded it and I put one up, and it ended up being the one that you see, or 1 or 2 that you see. So that was the end of the night. And I was like, okay, I don't got no JUCO. I had somebody, but I told them no. But then I was like, okay, I'm here. So now I'm like, what's going on in the comment section? So I got to go in the comment section to see what's up. And I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. I'm seeing a lot of bot comments. They going in on my head. They got comments with 50 likes on it. This is like right when I'm driving home. I'm like 25 minutes away. I'm like, yo, this is unbelievable. This is unreal. Like, damn, on my own channel, right? But my mom's texted me too, and I was like, well, the person she was talking to said I won. All right. So the person she said, the person that she knew that was watching me, they was like, oh, he said you were doing good. Okay. So I was like, okay. So I didn't know who won or lost at that point. I know I didn't lose. I never was thinking that I lost at that point. Okay. I never thought that I lost. I thought I won because, oh, by the way, let me go back. And I'm just holding their stream hostage over there just so we can show the numbers. I got more numbers than them. My mom works for me, so she helped me write my first book. All right. She did a lot of the transcribing of the first Free Agent Lifestyle. So she's in on what I'm doing. So she don't really listen to me. She ain't watching the streams, but she knows what I say. And she knows she's part of the business. So my son and my mom are part of the business. All right. I pay them and I employ them. Um, and so they know what's up. So my mom is really helpful. All right, she does a lot of work and tasks for me, and she helps around the house. And when I'm away, she's house sitting and shit like this. So she's helpful. She's very, very helpful. But I didn't tell you this. At the end of the stream, Andrew Wilson debate, Andrew Wilson and them, his manager, immediately leaves. Now, this is, of course, probably 10 minutes after I said his wife got a high body count. So he probably steaming. He probably steaming. So they get up, immediately leave. I don't see them at all. I don't hear from them. I don't see them. And I'm in the studio with the host guy. And he was like, normally he's like, let's take a picture. And the host guy, he's a young dude. So he was like, you did good. You know, he ain't really taking sides. I think he was more pro Andrew Wilson. So, but he didn't take a sides. He was like, you did good. But his manager, Andrew Wilson's manager, leaves and they go outside. So I'm talking and I was like, where'd they go? But I got my gun in my pocket. I got my suit on. And then I grab a water and I walk outside. Right. I walk outside. And then before I walk outside, I could see them standing there and it's dark. So they're standing outside right where the door is. So I got to open the door right on them. And Andrew Wilson over there chain smoking like this. All right. He like this. He back over there. He's a chain smoker. He a chain smoker, like smoking like a chimney. Like I seen him out there 3 times, right, in the time that I knew him. So he a chain smoker. He can't stop motherfucking smoking. All right. He be wired up. So I see him. I walk outside. I open the door and I do this with my suit. I go, and I'm not looking at them. They standing right here. So I open the door and I stand out there and I'm looking. My G-Wagon's parked right here. And I go, and then I look over and I say, we can do this again anytime. I don't shake their hand. I don't extend my hand. I just did like this, like I won. I gave them the this. I was like, I had my suit on. I was suited, clean shoes, suited, custom fit. I gave them the this. I said, we can do this anytime. Just let me know. And their vibe was like, fuck you, nigga. All right, because they didn't even respond. They didn't say okay. They didn't say fuck you, nigga. They didn't say you bitch, nigga, why you calling my wife? They didn't say nothing. And I knew then, I didn't stand there that long. I went, we could do this again anytime. Let me know. And then I walked off. And I got my G-Wagon. Vroom! You know them niggas was steaming. Nigga got the G-Wagon. They out there smoking. I gave him that boss shit. So anybody that thinks Andrew Wilson won, I can tell you for a fact he doesn't think he won. I can tell you for a fact he does not think he won, which is funny to me on the internet. I'm seeing all these people say he killed me and cooked me. I can guarantee you his whole demeanor, he don't think he won. Even he doesn't think he won. I know for a fact the way I carry myself, I was like, I won. And I'm about to show you custom suit, hop into a motherfucking $150,000 car with no motherfucking blemish. So I was like, when I go back on it, when my son's texting me and my mom's texting me, the internet saying he won and cooked me, I was like, shout out to the angry man. Shout out to you, man. I did catch your stream. I was in my personal trainer. But I know for a fact from how everybody's demeanor was, how his demeanor was, how him and his manager was, he don't think he won. Which is crazy to me that the internet got the nerve to sit up there and be like, he cooked me. So I'm sitting there like, what? What? Ask him. He don't think he won because what he wanted was to embarrass me, the knockout punch, to mop the floor with me. Now, some people say he did, but I can guarantee you he don't think he did. That's why by the next morning he deleted the stream off his channel. He deleted the stream off his channel. He didn't say, shit, I'll do a second debate with you. I'll mop the floor with you twice. He didn't say none of that. They literally was looking at me like this. So that's why I am going, who is these people? Who are these people that saying he won? Because nobody that was in that studio think he mopped the floor with me and cooked me. Nobody, even him, he don't think so. I can guarantee you that. Just by everybody's demeanor, I was the only one to speak. I was still cool. I wasn't sweating. I wasn't chain smoking. I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't nervous ticking. I addressed them niggas. It's like, yeah, what's up? We could do this again. Let me know. That was good. Even the moderator was like, yeah, you did all right. So I come back to the land of make-believe on the internet, and y'all niggas is like, CGA laws, his whole demeanor, he was emotional. And I'm sitting there like, are we watching the same show? Did we watch the same show? Because I could have been sworn I saw Andrew Wilson with his head on the mic like this, and his hat was like this. I looked over, this nigga was like this. He asked for alcohol before the stream, and I'm watching him, and there's 3 bottles of alcohol and a pack of cigarettes. I look over at Andrew Wilson at one point in the debate, and he was like this on the mic, and his hat was flipped up like this. And you're telling me, and I'm sitting up there fresh, you're telling me he beat me? I was like, like, I'm like, even he don't believe it. Even he doesn't believe it, which is mind-boggling to me. He was disheveled, flustered, red in the face, chain smoking. He was looking at me like, fuck you, nigga, who the fuck you think you was? Sweating, hair all greased up, hat all fucking kerfuffled and turned up. And I was like, what is the internet talking about? He emotional, he attacked his wife. I was like, I didn't attack his wife. He brought his wife up. And I said that to him. Why would you say that about my wife? And I said, you brought her up. I didn't bring her up. You brought her up. I said it live in the studio. So this is where I'm like, I was like, he got a lot of bots. Or he got a fan club. He got a group of people that can dominate the internet. He got a group of people that love him, and shout out to his group. I love it. That's what it was supposed to be about. That's why I've been saying I'm not trying to collab with nobodies. I want to go head up with some somebodies. And I went head up with him. He didn't knock me out. Some people might say, they lost respect for me or I'll look bad. Okay, fine. Did he knock me out? Nope. Did he mop the floor with me? Nope. That's what they might want to say in the comment section, but we know that didn't happen. They coping. They can say I'm coping, but this is just now, it's just a continuous debate. He didn't knock me out. He didn't make me look silly. I might have made you look emotional, but he looked just as emotional as me, in my opinion. Shout out to the angry man. Shout out to the angry man. But I don't think he won like he wanted to win. Let's just put it like that. At the end of the day, I can say I won because he doesn't think he won like he wanted to win. Because had he won, you would see clips of me running right now. Because he got a whole team of people. His wife at home, editing the video and calling them, take this stream down. You would see clips running of him mopping me up with the floor. You would see the stream on his motherfucking thing. You would see edits and clips of streams on his motherfucking channel right now. He would be showing that he won clearly. He would be demonstrating it with clips. He would be demonstrating it with shorts. Do you see that? No, it's been 3 days and you don't see no motherfucking clips, no shorts, nothing on his channel. He's acting like it didn't happen. So that's why I'm looking at it like I'm the one with the stream up. I'm the one with the clips up. If he had won how he wanted to win, he would be gloating it and shoving it down his throat. And shoving it down y'all throat. Pause. He said the Sky Daddy comment section ended it. Shout out to you. The Sky Daddy comment ended it. No response videos, no wrap up, no review. They literally like, that shit didn't happen. Let's just go ahead and bury that shit. Let's just go ahead and bury that shit and act like it didn't happen. At that point, ain't nobody could tell me he won. Now, maybe in the next few days, maybe because he is out of town, so I'll give him that. He hasn't had a chance to get back home. He's still in Las Vegas. So maybe, just maybe, he's waiting to get back home so he can do it. But at that point, it's a week later. And I'm going to tell you, there's not going to be many clips of him just mopping me up. If he clipped it up, there's not many clips that he can run 10 minutes consecutively that he can show that he mopped me. Because they probably went back to edit that shit and said, we gon' put this clip up here and show that I was killing his ass for 10 minutes straight. I guarantee you they can't find that clip. Because they would have to show that he was cutting me off and being condescending and rude. And he brought up the fact that his wife, they can't do it. I can almost guarantee you. I might be wrong. He was on the stream looking up book sales. He said it was a wrap. Shout out to the Angry Man, the legend. I guarantee you they looking for a 10-minute clip to be like, look at them. We got this suck ass nigga. I guarantee you, but they can't do it. Okay. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I've seen this done to me before. Normally, what I see these guys do is that what they'll do is if they couldn't get me alone, what they'll do is they'll tandem up and they'll get 4 other goofy ass niggas to go in on me. Okay. So what you're seeing now, if you're watching the show, if they're on Fresh and Fit, which I'm not watching it because I've got more live viewers than them probably, which is another telling sign that the internet ain't what the internet makes it seems. Because I'm supposed to be the low man on the totem pole. I'm on a vertical stream outside chilling in the same city that they're doing their live stream. Do I still have more live viewers than them? Okay. Do I still have more live viewers than them? They have an Avengers thing. I'm sitting here 20 minutes away. I have double the views. Think about this. What they normally do is when they can't get me at one, what they do is they go try to get other dudes to get me with them. So now, all right. So now what they'll do is they'll gang up on me and laugh and snickle. Yeah, and we got him and this and that. They'll then gang in the clanosphere. They'll get their clanosphere gang. He called me an idiot. Again, I was the one calling names. Oh, the Crucible has 3K. Okay, shout out to them. Fresh and Fit, always shouting you out. Let me see here. Somebody just sent me something. But it's weird that then they immediately go to they go to these other guys that don't like me. By the way, Rolo, he clearly doesn't like me. Michael Certain, I met him once. He was glad handing me and smiling in my face. But I guarantee you he doesn't like me. I don't trust him. Yeah, Michael Certain. All right. Are they on his channel too? Look how many channels they're trying to stream on right now. Look at that. Look at what they're doing. They're trying to gang up on me now. All right, and get in a room with me now. I told you the clanosphere does clanosphere shit. It's typical. I've seen that. I've seen that. So now they gotta go, oh, they gotta go rub each other down. All right. They gotta rub each other down. They gotta make themselves feel good. And I'm still beating them by far. That's the red pill for you. That's the red pill. And I've been telling you this. Look on my Coach Greg Adams channel. I told you that's the clanosphere. Typical shit that I've been dealing with in this space for a long time. This is why I said, this is why I said that, this is why I said that um, this space is going to be the end for men, right? It's going to be the end for men. Like it destroyed itself. Look on my Coach Greg Adams channel, how the manosphere destroyed itself. They've been doing this for years with CGA. And now that they think they got their little pound of flesh, they then have to get other people who have less views than me to make themselves feel good. So I can't vouch for the manosphere anymore. I can't vouch for this space and the content creators and even Fresh and Fit, who I was cool with. They're facilitating this. I don't know what they're saying. Richard Cooper never comes out of his house, so he never gonna be outside. He's never outside. Okay. But at this point, it's just me. But I'm still standing strong. I mean, as you can see, still standing strong. So then what they'll do is they'll try to then attack me on the other side financially, and they'll try to do that. That's what's coming up next. That's what's coming up next. They'll try to ban my channel. They'll try to do all that stuff. They'll try to attack on that side. Because that's how I got demonetized. I've been saying this for a long time. I got demonetized through the manosphere. The manosphere content creators demonetized me because it doesn't make sense. I was doing the same thing they were doing. How am I demonetized? Okay. So I said that for a long time. And this is why I've been going on this tangent about weak men and men, because it starts with the men, the content creators. It starts with them. So, I tried. I gave my best effort. But, I got to roll alone. I've been rolling alone. That's why I'm saying, like, y'all want me to collab and do a debate. As you can see, what happens in the fallout of a debate. Okay. You see what happens when the fallout of a debate. They've been trying to get me to debate for a long time so they can get here. And I've denied it and denied it and denied it and denied it. So here we go right here. Now you see what's happening, but still be winning at the same time. It's sad, but it's the truth. And now you see it. I hope you can see it. If I lost the debate, what would they be doing right now? If I really, really lost, would you think that they would have to do this? No. But at this point, why would I support men when even the men in the space do what they do? Okay. And you have to ask yourself why. Who am I? Am I not a part? Am I not a plant? Am I not a plant? Like, are they plants and I'm not? Was I not supposed to be? Am I taking this seriously and it's supposed to be a joke? Am I affecting their pockets by being me or my philosophy? What did I do to them? I got more viewers than them now. It's pretty much been the whole time. You have to ask, what did I do to them? Most of the time I ignored them. I didn't even address them. I don't even mention their names on my show. When they make a video about me, I never react to them. So it's a weird scenario for me for the last 8 years. So again, he said I won. I couldn't clarify my points. I don't know. What points did you want me to clarify? Anybody? Did I have a chance to clarify them? Did I need to clarify them? What did I need to clarify? I don't know. What did I need to clarify? What point did I need to clarify? I always say, like, there's like, he cooked you. On what points? What they then do say is they say what I didn't say, not what they said. Right? Oh, he cooked you. But what did they say that cooked me? Well, you got emotional and you didn't say this. And That's not cooking. Cooking would be they destroy me on what they said. Can you show me where they destroyed me on what they said? That's what I want to hear. What did they say that cooked me? Most of it is he emotional, he attacked his wife, and you didn't say this. I haven't heard anybody say that yet. I've seen some comments, I've seen some reactions. Nobody has said Andrew Wilson cooked you on these particular points. I haven't heard that yet. You didn't answer questions. He didn't answer questions either. I asked him, can we change from the religious conversation to a secular conversation? He said no. I asked him if he's been divorced. He didn't answer twice. I asked him how many people follow the ecclesiastic marriage. He didn't answer. He didn't have a number. How many times did he not answer me? So why am I held to that standard of I have to answer them, but they don't have to answer me? Why am I held to that standard? I mean, I don't get it. Why they keep saying that? It seems like it's bot comments saying the same thing. Okay, what did they say that cooked me? What did they say that cooked me? Not what I didn't say. What did they say? Nothing. I haven't heard anybody say it, drive that point home yet. Nothing. He didn't say nothing that shot me down. It's what I didn't say. It's how I said something to him. It's what I said to him. It's how my emotions were to him. That's what lost apparently to them. Right? Not the philosophy, not so it seems like people didn't like me. That's what it is. And it seems like that's what it is. These content creators don't like me. This group of people don't like me. These Black Manosphere content creators didn't like me. So now, so now let's say CGA got cooked on no points at all. These scored no points on me. I basically didn't score, is what you're saying. He scored no points. I didn't score, so it's a draw. It's interesting. Like, damn, I lost and didn't get scored on. That's an odd summation. That's an odd summation. I find that odd as hell. What I didn't do is just fall for their little shit. And I wasn't the one arguing. I didn't call for this. So anyway, we see what it is. But here's the thing. This will all blow over. There'll be some fallout. There'll be some fallout. There'll be some hurt feelings. And it's not going to be on my side. All right. I'm going to be doing what I'm doing. But they're going to do what they do behind the scenes. It's a nothing burger to me. But we'll see how they carry themselves. They've been exposed. We can say clearly they've been exposed. They didn't expose me. They attempted to expose me, but they exposing themselves right now. Did I think about walking out? Not one time, because I didn't think I was losing. Why did I think about walking out? They threw in the white flag. They threw in the towel. But they're exposing themselves right now. And I'm getting the better exposure. I'm getting reached out by podcasts to come on their show. So more people are reaching out to me to come on their podcast based on my performance. So I'm like, what happened? And they've been exposed as stepdaddies and Captain Save a Hoes and simps and whatever you want to call them. It's nothing to me. It's nothing to me. I probably got exposed to some more people that eventually going to look and go, oh, maybe he was right in the end. They said he would moderate another day, so they want to do another one. Fine with me. But they gonna have to do it when I'm ready. But I don't mind it because I don't got the time. They had their chance. Now they gonna have to do it on my time. And by the way, they gonna have to pay me. So y'all gonna have to pay up. Y'all gonna have to pay up. Y'all need to collect from your Manosphere group and all of y'all people. I'll set the price at $20,000. Send that to them. $20,000. I'll give y'all a discount. They gonna have to pay up. I'll do the next debate for 20 grand. Okay. I'll give you it's normally $50,000, but I want $20,000 cash delivery transferred to my account prior to the debate. Because I won the first one. Why go into the second one? I have nothing to gain. I won the first one. Why go? Yep. And I get to determine where the location is. I get to determine the moderator. I pick the moderator. I pick the security. I pick everything because I'm in the driver's seat. I don't need the second debate. He needs the second debate. I don't need the second debate. So I need $20,000 for the second debate. And if they deny it and say no, and they rethink it, it's going to be $50,000. All right, so that's what we're doing. I'm going to get my money out of this. And it's going to be streamed on my channel only. It's going to be streamed on my channel. And I'm going to have subscriber only in the chat. They got to be subscribed to me for 2 hours. You know what? They're going to have to be subscribed for me for 2 days prior to the chat. Prior to the stream, they're going to have to be subscribed for me for more than 2 days before we kick the motherfucking stream off. I set the fucking precedent, the tone. $25,000. Yes, it just went up. $25K on my channel at the location that I decide with my security on my channel with the 2-day live chat subscriber notice. They're going to have to be, you can't talk in the you can't talk in the live chat unless you've been subscribed for me for 2 fucking days. All right. I'm setting the terms of the next one. Y'all set the terms of the last one. It didn't work your way, but I'm setting the terms on this debate. So I'm glad they agree to it, but I'm calling the shots. And no, I'm not scared. I need to get my motherfucking money on this one because y'all try to fuck up my money on this one and made me look bad. Y'all showed y'all motherfucking ass. Y'all showed y'all ass. I'm calling the shots. I run this shit. I was a nice guy the first time, and I thought y'all was gonna do with me. Y'all was gonna do me right, but I'm calling this shit. So tell them right now, Coach wants $25,000 and tell them it's going to be streamed only on my channel. No mirroring to any other channels. Not to the Crucible, not to Fresh and Fit. It's only going to be on my channel. So that's my rebuttal. And I want my cash before I show up to the stream. Go over there and tell that. I'm willing, because at right now, I got more viewers than them. So why the fuck do I need to kowtow to them? Why do I need it on Fresh and Fit's channel? I got more viewers right now on my fucking channel. Why would I need it on Andrew Wilson's channel? He lost the first debate. He don't get to do it. Why do I put it on Rollo or Michael Surtain's channel? I got more viewers than them. Okay. I'll pay the moderator for their time. I'll tip them too. But that's how we gonna do it. Because it's boss up season. My phone battery about to die. God bless y'all, man. Thank you for the support. And we gonna continue to plug away. We won. As you can see, we won. It ain't no cope. It's what it is. All right. The Shield checking in. That's a very long chat, so I can't read it. But shout out to y'all. God bless y'all, man. Thank you for the support. Shout out to Angry Man. Thank you for the stream, and thank you for being present here. Peace.